And we are live.
Feel it.
Nope, that's a big fat nope for me.
I was just,
Okay.
I was chilling.
Okay, I guess I'll take the stream down then.
And they were.
No.
I was listening to the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack as I was getting surgery.
Ooga
I was
shaka.
Oh, I mean, that's a good soundtrack to listen to at least.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just sitting there with my mouth open, just like nodding yes and no to the assistant.
Mouth open.
Can't do that. That's
Oh, baby crying.
Rhea.
Hold on.
Look, if we get DMCA'd because somebody was doing dentistry
Yeah.
karaoke, then something's seriously wrong.
That was not me.
Oh, I love
Anyway.
it.
Sorry, Rojan. I was so focused on working on the timeline stuff that I forgot to send the tweet out. I just sent it out now. So
all good.
my bad. I fell into the rabbit hole that is lore, and I couldn't get out.
Once you go down that lore hole, there is no getting out. I mean, like when we have the we've planned that session for what do you call it? For the lore show for like an hour and a half. We're gonna have to fight ourselves not to make it a 6-hour stream just talking about lore.
I'm relying 100% on Zorro to moderate that and tell us when to shut up and tell us when the show is over.
All right.
I'm going to tell you right now, you already made a mistake.
Yeah, that's a 6-hour show.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you.
No, it's okay because I already have plans where if that happens, I'm just like, cool, we're gonna continue this segment next episode.
So Zorro has to host that Zoom call so she can just mute us in Zoom whenever we won't.
Well, that's all the time we had today, folks, as you're all still moving your lips, but no sound comes out. Yep.
Just like Fox and I are still talking, he just cuts the stream off. So, I guess today is the day of the ball.
Ooh.
Bit of a heavy planning has gone into this on my end, just for like contingency plans, just because I know not everybody knows what sticking to the plan means. It just takes one murder hobo to ruin it all.
What do you mean one?
It only takes one. I didn't say there's only just one. I just said it only takes one.
I'm a saint.
There. What, a boondock saint?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, last time we were together, everyone was going through the plan of how exactly this was going to play out. You had about a 2-hour conversation with one another about how no killing was allowed. That needs to be as silent as possible in order to get information, possibly get the other medallions, and get out without raising an alarm or too much of an alarm. You guys sort of separated into teams, people who were going to stay on the dance floor and kind of be the distractions, while there was going to be another team sifting through the house, trying to locate where the medallions were. Thankfully enough, Syra was able to attune to Reju's amulet, which allowed her to see on the blueprints exactly where the medallions were being kept. Of course, there is one on Lindra's neck, but Gaius has told you let him worry about that. So all you have to worry about is the 3 necklaces. Everybody got dance lessons that wanted to from what was his name again? What was your brother's name? Malik?
I'm sorry, I'm still in that lore rabbit hole.
Malik, yeah.
Yeah, Malik.
Yeah, Malik. That's it.
Yeah,
Bird boy.
Malik, who is Callie's older brother, who is a dancer over at the midnight hour. Other people prepared in other ways by making a couple adjustments to their clothing, crafting a couple items that may come in handy, and just all in all getting ready to get in, get out, and then bail out of the city. Gaius and Bernard have been doing what they can to assist you, making sure that the skiff and the bike and whatever mounts you need will be waiting for you outside the Jackdaw tunnels. But as we pick up today, it is mid-afternoon of the day of the ball. Final preparations have already been made. Bernard's personal tailor has laid out your attire for the evening on your beds. Bernard and Gaius are nowhere to be seen. You do know that Bernard said he had a bit of reconnaissance to do, and he was going to be leaving your gear in a secure location in the house, just in case things went south and you needed to get a couple stabby items. So at this point in time, nobody has their weapons or their armor. That's all stored away in that bag of holding that he's taken to the mansion.
But what if our dress is leather?
Well, if your dress is leather, your dress is leather. There's a difference between having leather clothing and having leather armor.
Okay.
Because it's the amount of layers said leather armor has that gives you the protection.
He just has 2 dresses.
So, as we pick this up, what is everyone doing with their final afternoon in the city?
Just real quick, I DM'd you after
I saw it.
last session. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So just plug that
Yeah.
in as it goes, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll respond to you on that stuff.
Okay. Cool. Snit would probably be fiddling in the workshop. Scrappy's probably already getting in position. So he's nervous. Just fiddling with whatever he can,
Yeah.
making pointless little trinkets.
Shadow Fox, the item that you talked to me about.
Yeah.
You can now load that into Scrappy if you like.
Sweet. Thank you. That's all for Snit.
I would like to just in case, instead of having them all willy-nilly in my pockets in case I get frisked, since Nyrix is going to be sporting the pantsuit, she is actually going to very gently and very lightly sew a little bit of the pebbles, the numb tongue paper balls that she has on her cufflinks to make it look like cufflinks.
Okay.
That way she could easily just kind of like tear them off and everything, but just kind of make them blend in.
Alrighty.
In case she gets frisked in the pocket and they go, "What's this?"
Boba.
Because we know how great she is with her speaking skills. Especially with what I plan to take before we walk in. I'm going to take a mutagen, and that's going to like hurt my charisma score even more. So the less talking, the better.
Be hurt anymore?
Yes. Yes, I will have disadvantage. on charisma checks. So it's already shitty, so I'm not really having high hopes anyway. So
It could be hurt more,
it,
but then it starts
yeah.
becoming a real issue for, being alive.
So so before we head over, just let me know, Rojan, because she's not gonna pop a mutagen until they are all dressed up and getting ready to walk over there.
Okay.
And that's all she's doing.
Alrighty. Anyone else doing anything specific?
Yeah, Syra is going to leave a package outside of Mina's door. But she doesn't wait for it. She just leaves it there.
Yeah, Minako's tidying up her hair, getting rid of the pink ends.
Getting rid of the pink ends.
That's fine.
And then she'll just leave whenever it's time.
Okay.
I think Callie is just doing very nervous laps around the house. And she's going to wait until like the last possible second before getting dressed and ready to go.
Reiju is probably wondering what hairstyle to go with. Decides to just let it stay straight. And we'll probably be hanging out, smoking in the garden, and basically just trying to calm herself. She seems to be pensive about the plan because she's wondering if it is what we're supposed to be doing. And then last couple hours she'll be basically suited up and ready to go.
Zelark is going to be getting dressed to the nines, making sure everything, not a hair is out of place, putting all of his contraband into his smuggler's coat, to include just like components for spellcasting and whatnot, donning his copper ring, and during all this, he's looking at the component for the clay that he got from the raccoon,
Mm-hmm.
and thinks to himself, looks at Somar and goes into it and takes the clay out and tries to fashion 7 earring like fixtures that will be used as, or actually make them rings that can be used for communication purposes, if that is a thing that can happen.
So you're pretty much making the rings into like pretty much two-way devices.
Yes, that just we can stay in communication, because he knows the limits of his own spells, and anything that could help with the success rate of this would be useful. So I don't know if that
Oh, yeah, that's
that
totally
I can
possible.
use that or not.
Yeah, that's totally possible.
Then Zelark's ring is going to be a dark black and like obsidian, but in the right light you catch a hint of purple to it. Reiju's will be gold and purple design throughout it. Snits, fiery, a red that looks, when it catches the light, will look almost like it's burning. Nyrix will... hers is going to almost look pearlescent for like multiple colors within it, if possible. Sorry, Callie's is going to be a red, gold, and green, just design, like a bird feather type design, and Syra's is going to be a slight purple with a green gemstone look in the middle of it. Just to, add a little flair.
And like as soon as like you're done shaping the rings, they like almost instantaneously harden. And they begin to take the color and design that you just described for each person, and the clay transfix from a hardened clay into a soft metal.
As they're forming, I'll look over to Somar and say, hopefully this will get us out alive. And then I grab my leer, attach it to its fastener behind at the base of my back, and scoop up Somar and head out and deliver the rings to each of them. To each other.
Okay. And when everybody puts their ring on, there's almost a slight tingle that kind of runs up the upper part of your spine into the back of your skull. And then you just feel this almost sense of clarity as you're connected to everyone else.
Is it a mental connection, or do we have to speak out loud?
It's mental. Well, it's mental, or yeah, because what it does is it allows you to communicate with one another. Actually, no, I think this would be something like you would have to talk into the ring, kind of like it's a yeah,
like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, like a walkie-talkie. Got to kind of.
Oh shit!
Yeah, kind of like how.
We're all just gonna become old anime women, just
yeah. Just like how like the FBI agents like they're talking into their wrists.
Or we're
It's pretty
talking on
much
the
that.
call. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, from what like lyrics is wearing, you would totally have in your cufflink like proceed to go.
Yeah.
oh, these are gonna be
Area's
great.
clear.
They'll all fit on our thumbs, so when we're drinking, it can...
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
I'm just waiting for somebody just to yell "hot mic" because they're hearing somebody slurping their drink. Now,
like,
now the rings
I was
aren't
nervous.
the rings aren't always active. You activate them to talk into them, so it's not going to be hot mic situation.
I was
Damn,
gonna
you're
say,
push
because
to
if someone
talk?
goes into a brothel, this is just gonna be bad times.
Yeah, it's push to talk.
It's pushed to
Wait.
To talk, yeah.
Fucking Zelark didn't give the description for mine. What the fuck?
Didn't I?
No, you
No.
didn't. I was waiting.
And
My
that's
bad.
it. He doesn't need one.
You did say
He gets
7.
pewter.
You did
That's
say
it.
7.
No, yours is going to be
Hot pink.
No.
I will slit your throat.
a
So
navy
fast.
blue, and on the navy blue ring outlined in silver, and on each side where they cross in the middle are 2 swords. So
That's pretty.
it's almost like a Mobius strip type of a design on the outside of it, where the swords will cross in the middle.
Fancy.
Well, Rojan, I guess if Zellark was delivering them personally, I guess at that point I saw the package. What's in the package?
It's so looking in the package, you see there's no note, no nothing, but it's a black ribbon. And when you pick up the ribbon, you see on the other side of it, it's like satin. On the other side of it is white, but when you look closer, you notice it's actually like a really pale pink. So it's the kind of a dual-sided ribbon. Nothing else on it.
Okay, well, I have short hair, so I can't really wear a ribbon, so I'm just gonna leave it on the bed.
Yeah, you can put it wherever. Might not be for hair, could be for wherever.
Headband.
There is
Yeah.
no
Maybe
note.
for your horn.
Oh, those
Very end
words
of
are
your
sensitive.
tail.
Arms,
Tail.
legs. Could be I don't know. She just
Put it
wanted
on
to
the
give you
tail.
something.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Syra just gave me a garter belt.
Could be.
All right.
Mina could wear it wherever she wants.
I mean,
Or
the
not
sky's
wear
the
it.
limit.
I guess she'll meet everybody at the hall and ask who the fuck left something that when she has short hair, like really fucking funny.
Just
Also, short hair girls do wear ribbons. You
Listen.
wear it underneath and up like that.
She doesn't.
And then there's
have
horns.
much. She
And
does
there's
not
a
have
neck.
much
People wear
behind.
ribbons as necklaces, as chokers. They wear.
No.
There's all
It
kinds of.
sounds like Syra is gonna have to tie it on to Mina for her.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
or
tie
you
a
just
tie.
leave it. You don't have to use it.
Yeah,
Sarah
no,
just
yeah.
lets them-
She's going there like, all right, who's the funny person that gave me a ribbon? And she'll point how there's literally no hair hanging off the back of her head. You only have like the bangs in front, and that's it.
Cyril will like shrug, probably blush a little bit.
I think Mina should wear it across her horns, like just as a band across her horns, just so that lays in front of her face the entire time.
Blind yourself. Be the cool, no eyes fighter.
Well, my horns
You
aren't
can
that high up.
always
They're
tie
along the
it
jawline.
to the butt end of your sword, so there's a fancy ribbon hanging off of your sword.
Sarah
Ooh,
nods.
like medieval ladies' favor, the handkerchief.
Oh, I was thinking of like the old samurai where they had the ribbon tied at the end, like on the
That
pommel
too.
almost, where it's like a ring almost. And you just
Ring swords.
the possibilities, Mina. The possibilities.
She'll just ignore
Anyway.
everybody and sit down.
Sarah just looks at her breakfast pointedly.
Oh, I guess I should say what we're wearing, right?
Mine's already on display on the card.
Well, I was getting to
wait.
to that. I was
Okay.
waiting to see if there was anything else anybody needed to do.
Let me put my visual aid.
Yeah, let us know when we describe our stuff.
Yeah, if there's nothing else anybody can do, I think everybody would then be coming downstairs in
Or
their.
I guess it's not breakfast. We're
One
just
by one
getting
prom
ready to
style.
go, right?
Yeah,
We're
it's
getting
like
ready to
it's
go.
like lunchtime / getting close to dinner.
it's getting close to the time. Like by the time everyone has gone through what they're doing for the last part of the afternoon, it's about time to start getting ready.
We just come down slowly,
Yeah.
one by one down the stairs, and it goes
One by one down. Yeah. One by one down the stairs, like prom style, like you said.
No.
I don't know how that song goes, but you know what I mean.
Oh,
I will probably also remind Zellark about the pellets and how to, if he needs to, slyly sip it into a drink. Otherwise, it will not work effectively.
Got it.
Liquid. But we're at a party, so probably a drink.
Lots of drinking to be had.
Mm-hmm.
So as everyone is coming down the stairs one by one, what are you all wearing tonight?
Here, let me make it easy. That.
So Yashtola's outfit?
Yeah, the better one.
The better one. Okay.
I just like that. That.
I mean, it works.
All right, I need my motivational things for good rolls.
Oh shit! I should have that as my background right now. Damn it!
I'm
on it
trying
right
to
now.
change mine too.
Yep, I can make it for both of us. I got it.
There we
I'm
go.
on it.
Okay, do it.
It's like how everybody
Now-
just has backgrounds of their dresses.
Visual aids are great, but I know a lot of people just listen to the show, not necessarily watch it. So I do think we should describe.
Oh,
them.
of course.
Oh, I'm
I'll
gonna
describe
do
it.
both.
Oh, we're
I'm
definitely
gonna
doing that.
do both.
Wait, I need to
Who
go
do you
back.
think we are?
There we go.
I need to look at the picture to describe my dress.
I do.
Visual aids.
So who's first? As
I
it-
guess.
I
I
think-
guess I'll go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Reggie, you've been the most excited.
So she's wearing gold leg bands around her right leg and her left, with what looks like those Roman Empire sandals, but without the actual bottom part. She's walking barefoot. She just has the cross lace around the ankle. She has a white dress with open back, open front, showing off her ley line tattoos of spider webs, gold on her blue skin. And she also has another couple sets of wristbands, the thin type that just kind of hang loosely. And basically is just tiptoeing around as if she was wearing heels, but there's obviously none. And yeah, a little bit of a band right above her navel. Oh, am I muted?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. And that's it.
Love it. Who's
Who's-
next?
Yeah, who's coming down the stairs next?
I have to point it out just because she's already super upset that she has to do this. Nyrix is last.
Syra's helping Nyrix
Fair.
right now.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not going downstairs. You can't make me. I'm not
Trying to-
doing it.
Trying to coax her
I
down.
don't know.
Fair.
Callie is waiting for the last possible second before getting dressed.
I guess I'll go down.
And it probably took me a while to make the rings and stuff. So
This
Yeah.
this sounds like a roll off moment.
Hmm.
Oh, I know.
Julian Demina's
Initiative.
coming down.
Yeah, she'll be
Virgin.
next.
Virgin.
Ah.
Initiative after Mina.
Oh no.
Well, she's as I said before, she is wearing all leather except for her shoulders and like the cuffs are fur, and it's all black and it's layered. Let me. I lost the picture. There we go. So it has the main chest piece, and then everything else, like the skirt portion, is a bunch of like sewn together pieces of leather with a big back window. So like her entire back is exposed, and there's like crisscrossing on the chest. So there's a bit of cleave, and then you see her religious like symbol on the chest with a gem on it, which is her focus.
Awesome.
Oh, and right, the gloves. And the right one only covers her index because yes, and the left hand she has like a big like spike ring on her index as well. And that's it. All right, where's Virgil again? I need good rolls. Look, you laugh, but when I had Virgil, I was schmoovin'.
Where
And
was
then
he
I took
during the
him-
Zizix fight?
Exactly. That's
That's
what
why.
I'm saying. That's why I'm saying.
Mina was not motivated during that fight.
I was not schmoozing.
Who's coming down next?
Oh, serious initiative rolls.
We're gonna start doing we're gonna start doing initiative rolls if people don't like start coming down. Look,
Fine.
look. The joke was
It's
it
not
was like
fair on dex based.
it's like look we said it was like prom, but if we're gonna have a bunch of people who are very hesitant, we're gonna start having to send dad up there to get you.
18.2.
You
Zellark
have a
wanted
party
more
full
of
of
a
nervous kids. What do you expect?
18.2.
Zellark wanted a more of a an audience before coming down because he's a slightly extra. But I guess I will come down next. So Zellark comes down the stairs. For the most part, wearing my player card outfit. But he is wearing. First thing you notice is this bright white overcoat, which is very much out of place in the desert because white is hard to keep clean. With the silver cuffs on each and on the collar and shoulders. And underneath is a fine silk purple suit with a nice dark belt and silver clasps up the front of his vest. The nice with a white cravat and a dark purple gem right in the middle. And yeah, just comes down and takes a seat at the table, waiting for everyone else.
Are you wearing like the full on like Sean Connery 007?
It is more it's more Morpheus in Matrix 2,
Okay.
Nice.
but real nice.
That's cool.
With the white, stark white coat.
I dig it. I dig it.
Man, every time I see Lawrence Fishburne, it reminds me of Samuel Jackson screaming, "I'm not Lawrence Fishburne."
I'm curious about Snit.
Yeah, what's the lizard person?
You're gonna be disappointed.
Is he butt naked?
So it just comes down like a tuxedo T-shirt.
He's gonna come down as a
And
dumbwaiter
Crocs?
from the old elevators going down.
Bellhop.
Bellhop, yeah.
A tux shirt and Crocs with socks on.
I mean, that
Ghetto
was
Crocs.
Snit's plan is to blend in with the wait staff. But Rojan, was the reversible thing
Yeah, reverse.
something?
Yeah, the reversible thing is easy enough.
Cool. So in that case, he won't come down looking like a bellhop yet. But he will come down, and he's got a pretty simple black tux thing going on. Of course, it's got room for his tail and wings. There's going to be spots on it though, like the shoulders and elbows, not quite like a tweed, kind of thing with professor patches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite like that,
Oh.
but it's going to have like a faux dragon scale kind of thing that doesn't like pop, but just gives it a little bit of texture here and there. His goal is to be able to blend in, look like he belongs, but instantly be out of people's minds the second they look somewhere else, so he's keeping it simple.
Was honestly thinking that you were going to come down in like your sports jacket.
So I guess Callie will come down next. And she comes down wearing a form-fitting dress that goes down to just above her knees. The front of it is white, and it has some red fabric that goes across her chest and down her sides. It's kind of a mix between deep reds and maroon almost. And on the side of that, near the bottom of it, is a bold gold pattern that shimmers as the fabric sways. She also has sleeves to match that start in that same deep red and maroon and go up into kind of a white feathered end that stops just above her shoulder. And on the back of the dress is a long feathered tail that starts from the top of the dress, which is cut just below her shoulders, and travels down almost to the floor. And the feathers range from a gradient that goes from white to yellows, oranges, browns, and reds. And flanking that feathered tail on either side are two ribbons, which are almost just as long as it, that are made of a really light fabric that seems to flow and wave at just the slightest breeze. And to complement this, she's wearing some golden feathered earrings and has gold winged makeup around her eyes, as well as gold lipstick and nail polish on her pointed fingernails and talons. I do have a picture that I will post in chat of that.
I would have.
It's so pretty.
I love it.
I love it.
And she's super nervous the entire time. And when she gets to the bottom, she kind of hides in the back of the group.
Oh, I guess I could probably post the screenshots in chat for a better look at mine.
Zaro, do it for me.
God. Okay. Well, first things first, I'll go ahead and I'll post the
front.
picture before we do the descriptions. That way people in the chat can really see. So coming out, you will see a very reluctant Nyrix being pushed behind by Syra.
Yeah.
She is actually in a very simplistic outfit. She's in a very nice form-fitting pantsuit that's tight around the ankles, and it's all black and sleek with a little bit of white fading on the tips of her sleeves and her pant legs. And she's wearing some silver open-toe heels. She's not wearing a shirt underneath. She has the jacket open a little bit, showing some of her chest, and you can actually see more of that scarring down the side of her neck and over her shoulder and on her chest a little bit. Her hair is pretty much the same. Everything is pretty much the same, just a very simple outfit. And you want me to describe yours too?
No, I can do it.
Oh, okay.
My camera is just being really crazy. There we go. So yeah, Cyrus kind of gently nudging Nyrix down the stairs. You look great. It's fine.
I want to do this.
Don't mess with the makeup.
I want to do this. No.
And Syra's in more of a traditional garb for her clan, so which is very like, she looks very desert princess with it, so very jasmine. So there's like this veil that goes from her head over her horns, and there's forgot what they call it, but it's sort of like a tiara, but it's just chains and like a little design in here across her forehead. And she has a top, you know, like Jasmine, where she has like a top and then the kind of poofy pants, and then it has a bit of a skirt to it in this kind of golds and teal greens and jewelry along her waist and her arms, and these little like anklet bracelets on her ankles and little soft shoes. So very, very like desert princess, I guess is the way to describe it. Very graceful,
Very Arabian-esque.
yeah, very Arabian in design and style. It suits her well. And for her makeup, she's tried to accentuate her red eyes and stuff using kind of some softer colorings and stuff that just kind of make her eyes pop and stand out more, and a little rouge on her lips. And she didn't bother painting her nails because it's just wouldn't occur to her. So she has more just her natural coloring and stuff. They're purples. Oh, and she has a little like cool bracer thing on the end of her tail too that has a chain that looks really cool.
And everyone is coming down, it has now like met down at the base of the stairs, and they're like looking over each other's clothes and complimenting one another. Very audible tap on the ground begins to approach from behind you as both Bernard and Gaius come out from a door that you didn't notice was there before. It blends in rather well with the wall itself as the door opens right next to one of the pillars that lead into the dining room. As the door shuts, it almost the seam and everything almost vanishes from sight. Both of them completely dressed for the occasion, wearing what looks to be matching, like almost matching outfits, though variations a little off. Both of them dressed in crushed, like what almost looks like crushed black velvet shirts with a bit of rufflage on the chest, and soft black leather pants. And then they have these what looks to be a little bit thicker black vests over that, and then they have overcoats on top of them. But the overcoats, while Gaius is wearing this like soft red, Bernard is wearing this soft blue. Both of them have brass clasps down the center to close up the jacket itself. The cuffs on the overcoat are also frilled a bit, and under each of their arms it looks like they have top hats, not full on top hats, but like the half top hat. Gaius is holding in his right hand a very intricate looking cane that has wisps of flame sprouting off into flowers. The farther down it goes onto the haft of the cane itself. All you can think of is Dumb and Dumber. Don't worry.
I
don't
wouldn't
worry.
have put it past you to put them in orange and
Don't worry.
freaking
When I was
teal
designing
suits.
that, and when I was designing it, I was almost thinking Dumb and Dumber.
I was starting to think it, and then you said top hats, and I'm like, okay, that's all I can
No,
think of.
but like it pretty much looks like this, but like I said, the off colors. Not Dumb and Dumber, where it's just like, you know, the ridiculous looking tuxedos. They're gonna go walking into the ball, and one of them's gonna smack the other one on the back of the legs with the cane.
Speaking
Whoa,
of canes,
mine, don't you look all prim and proper?
Everybody looks so good.
Minako's gonna give him the finger, just straight up.
Bernard, you
Like-
clean up quite nicely.
You mean I always look like this?
Yeah, I bet it's because you got a date. And she'll like look at Cal.
No, there's no need to be jealous.
It's all just for the mission, right?
Ellie, twirl for me. That dress is gorgeous.
Thank you.
He walks over to Bernard walks over to Callie and like softly takes her hand in his and like kisses the top. You look exquisite tonight. Wouldn't tell you
All
any
her
difference.
feathers just go straight up. You look amazing.
Thank you. This is just a little something that we were able to acquire in one of our recent business acquisitions. You'll be happy to know all your toys are stored safe and sound in the mansion.
Which room?
Do you have the blueprints?
Oh, yeah. Sarah will take out the map.
It's like, okay, second floor. Right after you go up the master staircase, down the left hallway, 3 rooms in, and he points to it. And he's like, nobody should be in there. It's pretty much a not, I wouldn't say a servant's quarters, but it's who am I kidding? It's a janitor's closet. Tucked away in there. Can't really miss the bag. It stands out.
So looks like I'll be the one to retrieve and distribute.
Except it would be too obvious if we have them on our person at the party, so I suggest those are our last resort.
Yes, last ditch effort. If anything goes south, then get the bag.
Okay. Everyone see where it's at?
Indeed.
At least they're all hidden in bags, so they're not so
Okay.
obvious weapons inside.
Oh, you don't have to worry. It's all one bag. I was able to finagle all of that.
Sarah folds the map up and puts it in her basically boob pocket, tucks it underneath so that when you're trying to sneak stuff into a concert,
Ah,
you know?
rock concerts, good
Yeah,
times.
Yep.
rock concert
Yep.
style. Hoping no one looks there.
Memories.
Gaius kind of breaks the group a little bit and he walks over to Snit and he hands Snit a small gold monocle. You were asking for a way to detect magical traps. This would be the most inconspicuous way to do so.
Ooh, now I feel like I need a top hat.
Well, if you need a top hat, the wardrobe is right there.
Go on, Snit.
Can I find one that collapses into a bellhop hat?
Snit just walks over and gets the biggest stovepipe hat possible.
Like Doug Dimmadome, but a top hat.
Yeah.
I know that's where I'm hiding my
The
bellhop
Dimmatop hat.
is inside there.
I was thinking more spin doctors, but
Oh my.
While this is happening, Minako's gonna go to Zelda. It's like, so how the fuck does this thing work? And you'll see her remove one of her ears from her horn and replace it with that ring.
well,
Do I just shout into it? It's just being an asshole.
And if you say, "Do I just shout in it?" Since you're trying to use it, everybody just hears it echoing through their heads. Mina just yelling, "Do I shout in it?"
Mina.
I fly at her and I smack her upside the back of the head.
I yell back. Damn it, Mina!
And only Mina.
Yes.
Oh no!
only
Everyone
Mina.
hears it. Everyone hears it.
You can't single out a person?
There is no one-way channel on these rings. Everyone
it.
hears the conversations.
Ow! Damn it!
I think I figured it out.
Same.
Snip throws a piece of bread at Reiju.
Catches it.
So think about communicating, and it works.
Do I have to like speak it out loud, or is it like can I just mentally?
You can speak under your breath, but it has to be out loud.
Thank you, Zellark. Mine's really pretty. I like it.
Yeah, these will help a lot.
Hopefully, it'll keep us from getting killed.
I wouldn't worry about getting killed. Security there is lax. Pathetically lax.
Aren't you concerned about that? Doesn't that
Better guard
sound...
down either way.
I think it's an invitation for somebody to try to steal it.
Yeah.
But just be careful. Most of the floor security anyway is just a couple bellhops, I guess they're called. Nobody really has any weapons save for a couple guards that have been posted as personal security, but if you don't start stabbing people, you don't have to worry about that.
Hmm. Speaking of stabbing people, Snit, did you finish my request?
You're gonna have to remind me. What?
The
What was
cane.
your
The
request?
canes.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, well, Bernard already took the real one, but then Snit will present the one that's just a staff, and he'll show him on that one where what he needs to do to utilize the cane sword when he gets his hands on the other one.
Oh yes, by the way, I took the liberty of loading up some poisons already into the cane itself. Figured better to come prepared. For my personal stash.
What do they do?
You ever seen a man melt from the outside or the inside out?
Nerix raised her hand.
Yeah, it's that.
I could find some uses.
I was able to get my hands on some mutated sand spider venom.
Ooh.
We're gonna need to talk after this.
That's good stuff.
Oh, it is good
Awesome.
stuff.
Very potent.
Very potent, very expensive, and very dangerous to get. But in a pinch, if you need, melt somebody, it sort of works.
On the topic of conversation from before, about the bellhops and all that, and it seeming like there wasn't that much danger. I just kind of want to remind everyone that since all this began, nothing's really been as it seems. So be on guard.
That is always the plan.
Oh, yes. That reminds me. No, not Zork. Gaius walks over to a small case and he opens it up and he hands each of you a small flask.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't have to bring mine.
No, don't fill it. It's already filled. There's a health potion. There's a health potion inside. Again, if things get a little scary and you need a bit of healing.
What is the flask made out of?
It's made out of silver.
Sweet.
I think it's only fair that everyone gives me their flask so I can distribute them accordingly.
You already
Nope.
have healing salves that you're hoarding.
Nope.
Distribute them properly
As I
into
see
my
fit.
bag of holding.
I forgot to ask for pockets on my dress. Can you hold mine, Bernard?
He smiles and he takes it and he puts it into his coat. I guess that just means I have to stick close to you just in case things go south.
Right.
I'll think that one through.
The shipping is
I should
becoming
have asked for
canon.
pockets.
I think she would like that very much.
We should probably go now, right?
Oh yes, you know, it's
Oh, Minako forgot something in her room. She's gonna go back and get it.
Okay.
And she'll also give Nyrix her potions because she also does not have pockets.
Oh, I have pockets. I can.
No, I already
carry
took it.
some.
you'll never
that
see
point-
that potion again.
At
You
that
might
point,
see the flask if you're
Zellark
lucky, but not
opens
the
up
potion.
his coat and like starts
8,000
showing.
pockets.
Yeah, like,
Wait,
but there.
wait,
He,
You can't
open,
really
he,
see
he
them
opens like
until-
the inside of his coat, and it's like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. It's just lined with guns and ammo and everything.
Pockets for
actually, Nyrix,
days.
What are you
Nyrix,
buying?
Give them to Syra because we're not gonna be together in there.
That's right. You're going with
Yeah.
Syra. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Now,
take them. So
sneaky
I'm holding
team.
them for.
Are you wanting to go through the front with the rest of us, or would you like to go my way?
What's your way?
There's a window on the second floor that doesn't shut quite right. I don't know how it happened. Totally broke it.
Bernard's way, and you see Snit take off his jacket, turn it inside out, and start putting it on that way, and he looks like a bellhop now.
That could work. But if you want to go around the back end of the establishment and climb up into the second floor, you should be able to. The grounds I don't think will be patrolled much.
I think that might be a good idea because I have the map and the pendant on me. I don't know if that will take, if they have anything that will detect or they'll pat people down when we come in. I don't know.
Word of warning about that.
Yeah.
If you start to see glowing coming from your chest,
Oh, my
you're not-
pocket. It's in my pocket.
okay.
She lifts up the skirt and shows it in her pocket.
Because
Okay.
it also
Well-
doesn't raise any questions as to where some of the guests have disappeared to, if you've never been seen.
And if we come out later, if we need to, we'll just have been late arrivals.
And if anything goes wrong, well, you've got those fancy little rings.
Right.
Is most helpful.
So sneaky way? Sneak team?
Sneaky way.
Sneaky way.
Sneaky way.
All right, so who's on the sneaky team and who's on the distraction team?
Sneak.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't raise your hands at once. That doesn't help.
Snit is obviously a public
And
face
yet,
of the
oddly
group,
enough, the
so-
only ones that raised their hands were the sneak team. So good on
Yeah.
us.
All right, so how many people do we have on the floor?
3.
3, I think.
Okay, so it's Callie,
Zellark and Nyrix.
Zellark, and Nyrix. And then everyone else is sneaking.
Yes.
Yep.
I can actually technically do both, but
Not because Minako is sneaky, but because her echo doesn't make noise because it doesn't have to step on the ground.
So if there's any pressure place, you just send the echo forward.
The echo's just gonna be floating upside down, walking on the ceiling.
All right. So, everyone begins to head out.
As I head out, that's when I'm going to take my mutagen
Okay.
And when I take it this time, it looks like she has a really bad headache for a moment. And then she kind of straightens up and she's fine. And for the sake of the party, since Zelark mentioned you have to talk into the ring, she's actually going to tie the ring into one of her braids so it's close to her mouth. So she can just, like, all she has to do is just kind of talk and it goes pretty much into it at the moment. So, yeah.
Okay.
So now my intelligence has increased by 3.
Ah, you took the smart potion.
I did.
Big brain.
Which is awesome because if any of my stats are an even number, it's even better because for some weird reason it's a +3. It's never like, oh, it's a +4 or something. It's +3. I'm like, okay, fine.
All right. So as everyone begins to head out towards the ball, we're going to go ahead and take our first break for the day so we can get up, refresh our drinks, all that fun stuff. So when we come back, they could attempt to Ocean's 11 this, but I think this is going to be more people going loud in Payday, and guns are going to be fired the moment they step in.
Only if you make it so.
Oh, I only hand you the rope.
So we get the rappel. Nice.
Yeah, let's go with that. But yeah, so we're gonna step away just for a brief moment here, everyone. We will be right back. Okay, we are back.
Yeah,
That
leave the door
song
open.
fucks.
I come
Oh,
back
well.
and the first thing I hear is that song fucks.
Yes, yes.
It does.
What, Holy
I'm gonna have
Orders?
to listen to it.
No, well,
Leave
yeah,
the
that
door
song
open.
too. No, Holy Orders does fuck, but no, Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars's Silk Sonic collaboration.
Yeah, Silk Sonic is wow. And the fact that Anderson .Paak can actually play the drums and sing at the same time,
Yeah,
that's talent.
but that's not even the best part. The best part
True.
is that the group was named by the Master Blaster of the Universe, Bootsy Collins.
That is true. Oh man.
All
Well, it
of this
gave
is
me
going
so
in
many-
one ear and out the other.
You put some respect on Bootsy Collins, Rojan.
The song is so
Bootsy
cheesy.
Collins sounds like something that somebody would name their cat.
Bro,
Sonic Silk.
He's Master Blaster of the Universe.
It's so cheesy.
It's good.
It's good.
Anyway.
It's soulful, but like I don't know.
It's Motown.
I'm not having that
2.0.
reaction.
So, everyone
Clearly, you're wrong.
heads out. And about halfway, the ballroom team begins to continue on towards the front of the front of the estate, while the sneak team goes a bit off course around the back area where Bernard has pointed out the broken window, second floor.
Pass without a trace.
Okay, pass without that's definitely a good thing to have on you right now. Thankfully, there's no walls. There's no fences or anything that you have to climb.
Perks of a desert town.
Yeah, the perks of a desert town. There's not many walls anywhere inside, like around any of the villas or anything like that. So you go off to the side. You make about a 5 or 10 minute detour to make yourself a bit inconspicuous. You know, dipping between like the alleyways and stuff, making your way back towards the estate. The rest of you who are just heading on through normally see a large gathering of people outside. Not really necessarily standing in line to get in, but people conversing out in the gardens, just having a grand time already. You can definitely tell that even though the ball has already started, some people look like they may have pre-gamed before they came in. Some of the more distinguished people look a bit more on the tipsy side than you would expect. But as you begin to approach the front of the estate, Gaius reaches into his coat and he produces multiple invitations to the doorman. He takes the invitations, he looks at them, looks you over, and ushers you on in. You go into Valindra's estate, and it's a bit of a shock because as you walk in, no longer do you see stonework. You see tiles, marble floors, marble pillars, very intricate and beautiful staircases that lead up to a high second floor, maybe about 20 feet above you. The walls decorated with art from various cultures. Some elven, some dwarven, even a couple artifacts from your clan, Syra. Well, if Syra was in there, I should say Nerix. Couple of the druidic staves and a couple broken masks on display, some of them with information placards on them. And as you look around, this is not the only artifact she seems to have on display. Her walls, the floors have cases as well. It almost makes you feel like you're walking into a museum more than somebody's home. But there are various party goers all about as well, looking in the cases, having conversations with one another. And every now and then you see the occasional guard kind of walk by a patrol, not really paying you much attention. Just keep an eye out for anybody a little too drunk or causing too much of a ruckus. As you stand there in the main room of this exuberant estate, Gaius turns around and looks at you. This is how it is in most of the house. She is a collector.
Thing.
There are what she claims to be deactivated magical objects in the estate as well, proudly put on display for all to see. Not very subtle. Yes, thank you. If you meet the lady of the estate, which if you stick around me, you will, you will learn this very quickly, that she prides herself in her collections. Main ballroom is behind me. If I were you, I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else than here, the gardens, and the ballroom, as not to raise suspicion.
I was just about to ask what our limits are, so good to know.
Well, she tends to give her guests free reign of her house, but to not stand out and not draw attention to yourselves, it's best to stay where the majority of the party will be.
Fair enough.
Is there any sort of, I don't know, schedule or something that we should be aware of? Like events that are happening?
The only event that I know of is the performance by your brother's troupe.
That'll be hard to miss.
Are there any people we should steer clear from?
Now that is not something I know. I don't know who here is like under her employ, or her influence, I should say. I would just say use caution when talking with anyone. Try not to give away too much of yourself. Just, random party talk.
Got it. Typical information gathering.
Yeah, keep it tactful.
Got it.
Now,
I'll stay close to Bernard the whole time, I suppose. 2 sets of ears are better than one.
Is he's rather close to you already. Like, don't worry about that. I will decide. After all, I am your date.
+1. I don't know if I'd say date.
Plus
right?
ones are dates.
Oh dear.
Please don't worry about it. Just have fun.
I'll try.
And he kind of takes your hand. He's like, "Come, let's see if those dance lessons paid off."
Okay. Okay, bye everyone. I'm just gonna go over here and die.
I'm gonna die. So you walk to these large wooden double doors that as they open, there's like multiple audible clicks, and you get a brief look on the inside of the door as it opens, and you see there are multiple latches going all the way up, giving you a bit of an idea of how much security this place actually has. But as the door opens up, you are taken aback a bit with the size of this ballroom. As you can see that the ball floor itself is a bit sunken into the ground. Like there's a small staircase that leads down onto the dance floor itself. Just a white and black checkered pattern with a small, like, warm pulsing light underneath the floor that kind of goes off every now and then. The band playing some random dance tune that you yourself are not familiar with, but the dance floor is already it's packed. Let's put it that way. Off to around the outside of the dance floor, still up on the race platforms, there are multiple buffet tables, punch bowls, everything. That people are just packed in here, enjoying themselves. It's not dead, to say. On either side of the door, as you walk in, there are these two huge what look to be golden angels standing roughly, probably, like, when you walk in here, this room is raised. It definitely goes past the second floor, but these things stand an easy 120 feet tall. Solid gold angels, wings pulled in as they have their swords grip close in a downward pointed fashion. Again, various artwork and whatnot displayed on the walls, and on either side of the main staircase down onto the dance floor are these two golden 30-foot rabbits, legs kicked up back in the air, kind of like as if they're going to be lunging at one another. Just giving off more of a sense of how much power and wealth Valindra actually has.
As we go in there, Callie's just like looking around with wide eyes and open mouth. Like, this is decadence beyond her imagination. She's used to sandstone huts, and this is something else.
Zolark's looking around. It's like, it's a bit gauche, but huh. And I turn and look to Nyrix, put my arm out and say, shall we get a drink?
She hesitates because she's like, oh, I don't like this at all. I just don't like being dressed up. She's trying to hide it, but she's doing it very poorly.
Yes.
Of how uncomfortable she is right now, of just this whole situation. She's like, gods, yes, let's just get a drink.
Yeah, no, I put the arm out so you could loop your arm through. Don't know if she will.
All right, and she'll go ahead and she'll loop it.
Hey, who's taller?
I don't know. I'm 6'2".
He's definitely taller because I think I'm 5'10", 5'11". I'm 5'10".
It would have been funnier if Nyrix.
I'm wearing heels though, so it gives me an extra inch or two. So, still him.
Just barely.
But I'm all legs.
Just barely.
But yeah, I put my hand on her arm and go, the alcohol will help, and then lead her to the drinks.
Oh, and it's definitely open bar. It's definitely open bar.
I wait a couple more levels and I won't be able to get intoxicated. It'll be great.
Oh, so she won't cut her hand off trying to win a prize?
Nope.
Ah,
Hey, I'm still going back to get that. God damn it.
Hand?
So Bernard leads Callie down onto the dance floor and begins to slowly take the lead trying to ease away her nervousness.
She's trying her hardest, but like you can tell she's inexperienced, at least at first. She keeps glancing down at her feet, making sure she's stepping the right way and not stepping on him. But over time, she might relax.
And he kind of leans and whispers, like, don't be so tense. Just flow with it. Think of it as movements in combat. Just natural.
I mean, I'm kind of inexperienced at that too.
I've seen you handle yourself in fights.
Yeah, I guess I can, but this place it's big.
Disgusting, right?
I mean, it's a lot of it seems kind of unnecessary, but that's rich people, right?
No. See, there's rich people, and then there's this. This is just look how much I have. Look how much better I am.
I mean, you say that, but your brother has trees in a desert.
That's because the trees
Not that
want to
any
be there.
different. Wait, so when Syra was talking to the trees, they were like actually talking back?
Yes. They're not trees, they're trance. They want to be
I
there.
thought she was just weird.
Well, let's not give her too much credit. The girl is a bit kooky at times, but no,
Fucking freak.
she was talking to the trees, and the trees were talking back.
Ooh. There's a lot I don't know about stuff.
Yeah. You get used to it.
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, while we've got a bit of privacy, I
Mhm.
wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh?
Somehow I feel like you already know this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I asked your brother to help me with the project.
Oh, the
Of
mask.
mine?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, of course you know. So I was thinking that maybe, I know we're probably gonna have to leave the city for a while, but we're gonna come back, right? We're gonna come back, right?
I would hope so.
Okay.
The plan didn't call for, your permanent excommunication, and I don't think anyone here is planning on destroying the city, so
Okay. So, I was thinking once that mask is done, I got an outfit made to go with it that I could wear that stuff, and you could teach me everything you know about going around sight unseen, being places you shouldn't be, running around sleuthing about in the middle of the night, the weird stuff that you do. I think a lot of good could be done.
and he kind of smiles when you say the weird stuff that you do. And as you're dancing, he kind of like dips you down a bit, and he like whispers, "It would be my pleasure to show you the weird stuff that I do."
Okay, great.
Phrasing.
And her face just goes like beet red.
So what are your plans, by the way, of when you're out of the city? Where are you going? Do you have a plan?
I don't actually know. I know Syra and Nerix keep talking about their family or something. Their
Oh yes, the
grandmother.
their clan's lands and grandma.
It's like somehow connected to this. I mean, it's all a bit much for me. I'm trying to follow along, but I don't quite understand all of it. And I mean, I guess maybe we're all in the same boat. Like, we all know some of what's happening, but not what everyone else knows, and nobody knows everything. And somehow a lot of this is connected, and there's these pendant things, and I don't understand all of it, but I just want to help make things okay.
And that's all you need to do. Trust me, I don't understand 90% of what my brother says. So most of the time I'm not listening to him, so.
He says a lot of weird stuff.
He's a weird person. Oh, and look.
Hey, should we be worried about the whole, like, dealing with devils thing?
What are you talking about?
Your brother. Like, he talks to, like, those little
My dear, we're
red
part
creatures.
devil. Well, I more than
I-
him. He's Reshkasha. I'm part devil. Dad was a devil.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not saying you're not trustworthy or anything.
It's
I mean, he says that you're not you're both not trustworthy, and we shouldn't
Well,
do that. But I trust you.
I'm completely trustworthy because I cannot lie.
Oh,
Literally
that's
cannot
right.
lie.
Actually, on that note, I have one more question for you, Bernard.
It's everyone does when they remember I can't lie.
Yeah, you seem to know everything. So perhaps you know this. Was it your brother's doing to give me the job to watch over Syra and Nerex?
Not that I know of. I mean, I don't know why he would do that. My brother is a lot of things, but he's not a psychic.
You say that, but you also said you've been watching me for years.
I
And I
have.
can only assume that was his orders.
No, that was mine.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I am always honest. You're a beauty.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that means something else to your people.
What do you mean?
I'm not. Oh. Okay. This is real awkward. I don't really know how to respond to that. I'm a loner. I keep to myself. I don't get attention from people
You got my
like
attention.
you. Oh,
And you talk about loner. I'm somebody who lives in the shadows.
I suppose you do.
Most people here don't know about me.
Except for Valindra herself, right? We gotta stay, what, 10 feet, 15 feet away from her?
Oh, yes. Well, that was because I tried to stab her.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Don't do that again while we're here, please.
She's under Gaius' protection. I can't touch her.
So, what's like going on with those two?
What do you mean?
Like, they seem awfully close, you know.
Well, they are
Close.
sleeping together, so...
That is what I was insinuating.
Oh, there's no insinuation about it. But if
Okay,
I
but
know
we don't
my...
have to say it, Bernard.
Can't lie. So,
Right.
if I had to give my best guess, it's my brother is using her. He knows something is wrong. He
I thought that might be
knows
the case.
she has a hand in a great many things, so she sees him as a rarity in this city, so as all rarity, she collects them. And my brother has let himself be collected.
To what end? What's his goal in all this? Like, does he want to help run the city? Does he want the city? Does he want to be a judge? Like,
Oh no,
what does he get out of it?
he gets information. Do you know how much information passes through this house? Passes through Valendra
All
herself?
of it, I imagine.
Yeah. How do you think he knows so much about what goes on in this city?
Well, I assume most of that was you.
Mm-mm. I keep eyes on people. I keep him informed of some of the situations in, say, the market district and whatnot, but a vast majority of the information that he gets from inside the city is from her.
See. So does he not want her eliminated then? Like, because if she goes away, then
If you had a
lot of
if you
his
had a
sources
fountain
go
of
with her.
knowledge, would you want her to go away?
no, I guess not.
Now you see his issue. On
Hmm.
one hand, she's a fountain of knowledge that allows him to be one of the more powerful information brokers in the city. On the other hand, she's bad for the city.
Yeah. But she wasn't always bad for the city, right?
Oh, she's always been bad. There isn't a good drop of blood in that lady's body. Everything she has done, she has done for herself.
I guess. There's just so much you don't see, I guess, when you're just a courier.
Just got to keep those eyes and ears open. You'd be surprised how much you can see in your job.
Well, with your help, hopefully I'll start seeing more.
Maybe. But first, let's get through tonight.
Yeah. Sure hope everyone else is doing all right.
Indeed. And as the dancing continues on, Zelark and Nyrix, you've secured your drinks, and you're standing off to the side at the moment, like looking around, and every now and then you see a familiar face. Xerix, mainly some of the more well-known people of the market district have been invited to this little soiree. But something really stands out to the both of you about 15 minutes from being inside here. You see a very familiar old lady walking about on the opposite side of the dance floor.
Nyrix, do you see that?
I'm so sorry. I had to go cough and blow my nose. I had just came
It's
down.
all good.
What happened? I'm so sorry.
So you and Xerix are off off the side of the dance floor. Why do I keep saying Xerix? Zelark. It's the Z.
Is it because you're trying to like fuse our names like we're a couple?
Yes.
Xerix.
Power couple. Zelark. You and Zelark are over off to the side. You had already secured your drinks, and about 15 minutes into being in the main ballroom, you see a rather, well, you don't know what she looks like as you weren't here for the whole apothecary incident, but Zelark sees a very familiar old woman across the other side of the dance floor, walking about.
Oh, got it. Okay. See what?
The old lady across the dance floor.
Yeah, what about her?
That is the same old lady that walked out of the apothecary. So I'm pretty sure that is Zizix in disguise.
It is, perhaps. Is there any way to tell?
As you see her walking a bit more, she comes over to a gentleman in a very fine green flowing outfit, a bit more cleaned up than the last time you saw him, but it's that same mage that you encountered in the tower, the one that once looked very like he was very greasy, like he hadn't, maybe showered in a couple days. Now a bit more cleaned up, wearing clothes that don't look as raggedy, but there's no mistaking that it is him. And the two of them begin talking to one another.
I suggest we keep an eye out on both of those, see if they happen to wander off or whatnot, but we should probably inform the group just to let them know that they're both here, just be careful.
How far away are they?
They're across the dance floor from you, so get the measurements here.
Yeah, considering
So
how...
it's about 130 feet from you to them.
And we're... That wouldn't work.
Well, considering how there's low security and they're here, they're definitely baiting us. So make every move count.
I put my glass of white wine up into my mouth and using the ring, I say, Zizix, and we just spotted Zizix and the mage that we fought before in the building. Just a heads up, and I let everyone know that they are in the building.
Apparently Zizix is an old lady. As I whispered in my hairpiece, so I just turned to the side.
I'll actually respond back. Ah, I know the one they speak of. The gnome.
And sneaky group. As you get this call, all of you have clambered up into the second floor into a spare bedroom. From the looks of it, doesn't get much use. The bed looks like it's been made, but nobody's has actually used it in a very long time. The sheets kind of look like they may have a bit of dust.
Is the door closed to the room that we're in?
The door is
Main hall?
closed, yes.
Okay, I'm going to go up to where the door is at, and I put my hand down on the floor to feel for vibrations, and I'm going to just listen.
Okay, and as you get up to the door and you put your hand on the floor and you start listening, you notice that the room that you are in looks to be at one point a child's room.
Okay.
You can see a couple stuffed animals tucked away in a corner, a dollhouse on the other side of the room, a small toy chest at the foot of the bed. But again, it doesn't look like this room has been used in a while.
Okay. And do I hear anything? Any activity outside the door?
Not really. It seems that Bernard's intel has paid off, and it's in deeper into the wing of the house to where not many people would be.
Okay. Then I'm going to kind of nod to the group, indicating that we're kind of clear right now. And then I'm going to take the map out and the pendant and activate it to see where the others are right now. Where the closest one is to us.
And when you bring it up and you activate the pendant, the room itself isn't too far from you. It's around the bend a bit of the ways into the hallway, and it's dead center. It looks like it would be double doors leading into a very deep room.
Okay.
The three pendants in there tucked away back into the corner.
I'm going to show that to the group. All right. Looks like it's not too far. Does one of us want to go first and scout?
Can I really quickly, while she's been doing that, do a look around the room?
Yeah, what are you looking around for?
Just I mean, it's a kid's room, so kind of odd. We didn't know she had children or housed children at any point. Just kind of like see if there's any information that can be had,
Okay.
pictures or.
Go ahead and give me a investigation roll.
Okay. That is going to be pretty damn high. 25.
Nice. You begin poking around the room. And for the most part, it's everything's been tucked away, put in its like what it seems to be its rightful spot. Though as you're looking around behind one of the dressers, you see a small folded piece of paper. Looks like something may have fallen behind there, and nobody had noticed.
I will grab it.
Okay. And you grab this small piece of paper, and it's about 8.5, 11 size. When you open it up, on the inside is a drawing in crayon. And it
Okay.
shows, or what would be crayon, shows a small elven, like a small elven girl, almost stick figure like, holding the hand of a taller elvish woman, and it said on it, it says "Mommy and me." But there's something strange about the elven woman's appearances. You notice that her left eye is a soft, like lightish, and the other one is like a very deep green.
What was the first one?
It's a lightish blue.
Hmm.
The little girl, not really sharing her mother's eyes. It looks like as they're colored in with like a soft gold color.
Do we know anybody that has soft gold eyes?
You know, Valindra has gold eyes.
Oh, so this may have been Valindra's room at one point as a
Maybe.
child. Okay. Tuck that away, put it in a pouch. Anything else by chance?
Not really. Like,
Okay.
aside from a couple creepy dolls, but that's about it.
How far is I'm going to look for the closet where our weapons are stored. How far is that from where we're right now?
You're gonna have to go back out into like the main hallway, and go a bit of a ways before you get to that room.
Okay, I'll mention that to the group. How do we want to play this? Do you want to go get the stuff first and come back, or head straight to where the pendants are?
Well, we should have our gear in case something happens and we need a split. That way we already have it, because we may not be able to come back for it if we're already out.
So
We can wait on the weapons. Right now, we just need to do the heist.
Okay, we got two different opinions here. So Mina, what do you think?
She'll look at the map, and it's significantly closer to get the items, right?
Oh yeah, there's a significant difference in distance between getting your weapons and then going down the hall to where the pendants are currently stored.
Yeah, we may not be able to double back, so it's a bag of holding. It's not going to be cumbersome.
So it's items first or
I am
heist
all
first?
for getting my tools back.
Yeah, items first, I think.
Okay.
Just don't take him out of the bag until we need him. If we run into someone, we can talk our way out first.
Right.
All right, do all of us want to go to the closet or just a few of us?
That's
Uh,
the other thing. Isn't it, how comfortable are you doing them?
You are really low.
How comfortable are you doing a run and grab? You're the quietest of us.
If I have to do it, I'll do it. But I'm gonna go slow and take my time until then.
I'm gonna go with you. I can give you my pass without a trace if I stay with you. I can turn into something else so I don't slow you down.
Like the lizards from before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Reggie, you're fine staying shut in the room?
I'm absolutely fine with it.
So you and Mina stay in the room, and Snit and I will be team grab.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Team grab, I like it.
Be quiet.
And once they leave the room, Minako will
Wait.
have her echo appear right above the door, ready to
Okay.
on guard.
So, Syra, you're changing into a lizard.
Oomph. Yeah, I'm a little
And the echo-
gecko.
Okay, so as soon as you turn into a lizard, there's like as your feet touch the ground again, there's a soft what looks to be like gold thread kind of snake out from like the floor underneath you and kind of dissipate after it goes underneath the door. And as the echo appears up onto the roof, the same
She's
thing.
not it's floating. It's
The
not
same
touching
thing
the-
happens as instance like the gold thread kind of spindles across the roof under where the echo is floating.
Does the
Even if
thread
it's not-
follow me?
No, the thread does not follow you.
It stays where.
No, it
We
kind
activated
of
the
just
method.
kind of like weaves and then like dissipates,
Even if it doesn't touch anything.
even if it doesn't touch anything.
And Mina can see that too, right?
Yeah, everyone sees the gold thread because it gives off like this
Okay.
soft light before it just runs. It goes about like
I'm-
5 or 10 feet and then
I'm
it
gonna
vanishes.
immediately put the monocle up to my eye.
And you put the monocle up to you. As you put the monocle up to your eye, the entirety of the room, you can see various, not various, but the same rune, kind of like inked on every inch of the wall.
I think we found
Anything
what she
attached
wants
to Syra and
Nothing attached to them. No.
Syra gives a concerned lizard face look at the group.
We should all leave.
Lizard
back.
nod.
and I'm gonna check the door quickly for any traps or anything like that.
When you look at it with your monocle, aside from the same rune that's across the rest of the room, there doesn't seem to be anything off about it. It seems to be a basic door.
Lizard Syra is gonna scoot underneath the door and look around.
Right, and you look around, and the entirety of this hallway is dark. You can see that there are small like lantern sconces on the walls where you know somebody can put a bit of oil in and light, but doesn't
I can
seem
see.
you can
so-
see, but it doesn't seem like anybody decided to light this section or this wing of the house.
And
as you
there's
look-
nobody around right
there's
now.
nobody around. As you look down one end, though, you can see the light coming from the hallway. At the end, you can see the light coming from the end of the hallway where the party is going on. You can hear a bit of noise and a bit of the music coming from the ballroom itself, but this wing is completely unlit.
Okay, I'm gonna go back under the door and motion to come, and then I'm gonna scramble up onto Snit's shoulder.
Minako's gonna call out through the ring and let people know. It's like, well, we know how they detect magic. Gold thread appears when anything remotely magical happens. It doesn't impede it, but I have a feeling we might be marked.
Okay, so I'm gonna open up the door and start scouting about 15 feet ahead of everyone towards the direction of our gear.
Okay. Is everyone following, or is it just Snit and Lizard Syra?
I'm following.
I said we all need to go.
Okay. So it's going to take you back into the main area of where, like, in the ballroom. You'll be up on the second, well, not the ballroom. Just like an I'm trying to think here how it was designed. No, it would be the ballroom.
Oh, does that change our plan at all, knowing we'd have to cross the ballroom?
Well, no, because you're up on a higher area, and it's less of a floor and more like you just have like a little walkway up top that goes into like various wings of the halls or into different rooms. But you're up there. You're probably a good 60-70 feet up.
Okay, stealth mode.
Mm.
We're stealthing.
Which kind
To
of
be clear.
which kind of sets you off. You didn't climb 60 feet.
Yeah, about that.
She's got extra dimensional space home.
Artist home.
Yep. So we stealth over there.
Okay.
The whole time I am having the monocle up, and I am listening for any footsteps to try to avoid bumping into people accidentally, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So-
Minako will disband her
Her echo.
echo.
All right, so as you're looking around with that monocle, you notice on various parts of the ceiling, there are these invisible creatures that seem to be crawling on the roof, upside down.
Creatures, huh?
Creatures. Look to be
What kind?
6-legged lizards.
Are they looking at us?
No, they just seem to be crawling around the ceiling.
It's like a arboretum or some sort of like zoo.
Oh no,
thing.
no, there's no cage or anything. They're walking around freely, and like you walk across the other one, you can see one walking down like the wall close to like one of the door frames.
Do I recognize this animal?
You can't see it. The only one that sees it is Snit because of his monocle.
Oh,
When Minako dropped her echo, did they respond to it at all?
No, she
That action.
she dissipated her echo, so it's no longer there.
Yeah, when she dropped it,
No, there
did
was
they respond to that?
no because she got rid of it, so they didn't respond to it.
Okay.
does he notice them starting to gather around him because of me?
Nope, they aren't even paying any attention to you.
And I'm gonna just turn around and whisper. I think she's got several defenses against magic. Just don't do anything magical unless you absolutely have to.
Lizard nod.
As you nod.
I don't want to actually tell them about the invisible lizards crawling all around us, just in case.
Each lizard you think is probably about a good 15 feet long.
Oh dear God. So they're Komodo dragons that are invisible and able to
That
spider
have 6
climb.
legs.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So you have to dip between a couple people every now and then, and a couple of them give you a look, but they don't really seem to care, as they are around more of the wings that have been lit up. And you kind of dip down into the wing that you're supposed to go, and there's a bit of a woozy feeling for just a moment as you see the room itself begin to sort of spin and mold itself a bit. As you see again that not familiar, but that same gold thread kind of running along the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything kind of like simmers down again, and all the lights come on, giving just like a full view of the hallway itself. And Snit, do you still have that monocle on?
Yeah, I'm keeping that thing up.
Right above, like on the the small ceiling right above the door frame the door where you would go in to get the bags, is another one of those lizards.
Mm-hmm. So, does it move after a moment?
Not really. It kind of sits there. And it just sits there for a moment, and you see it kind of like about 5 minutes pass.
Mm-hmm.
And that you could see the gold thread once again run across the wall, but kind of like retract. And as it does, the lizard sinks into the wall itself.
Interesting. Let's see here. I have Arcana, I think.
You do have Arcana, I think.
I'm not proficient in it, but could I do an Arcana check anyways?
You sure can.
Oh, it's 16.
16. From what you can surmise, that gold thread seem like you have guessed, it seems to be some sort of magic detection enchantment that's put along the house. Those lizards, as you see it mold back in, and like 6 legs, them being invisible, it kind of clicks into your head. Just a strange book that you read back in Ritro's office one day. These lizards are known as Mageslayers. They are rather strong creatures that not only target those of any sort of arcane or divine magic, but consume them. Their main diet isn't the meat or the bones of a mage. It's the arcana that flows through them, the ability of them to be able to shape and mold. The arcana itself is what they feed off of.
Alrighty then.
And you know that any person slain this way by one of the Mageslayers becomes one themselves.
So a lot of mages have probably tried to break in here and failed.
Yeah. So far, you've counted 6.
Okay, so Here's the deal. Even if you think you have to, don't use any magic.
No magic whatsoever.
Okay.
There are a bunch of invisible lizards. And they like to eat magic users. And they will attack if you start using magic. And they will not only attack, but they will consume you, and you will become one. And you will be part of Alindra's stupid home security system.
Sweats.
Lizard sweat. Nervous lizard pointing at herself like, me too.
Yes.
Was that
Lizard
related to
sweat.
the whole group, or was it just to us?
That's a good question. Did you talk into the ring, or was this just for the group?
You know what? I'll do it in the ring.
Okay. So as everybody is on the dance floor, and they get a DM from Snit telling them don't use magic.
Fuck.
I like to think I was like mid-drink when that came in. I was
Just spit take.
a little bit, like just cough on my drink.
Okay.
Sad lizard face as she deflates and feels really useless now.
Snit just pats her on the head.
Good thing we came from.
And there's at least one in that room that we're about to go in. So, no magic, please.
Grab bag, go.
Grab bag, go.
Okay.
So I'm going to walk up to that door, and I'm going to check it for traps, both with the monocle and actual physical traps.
Okay. No, it's a door.
Okay.
Well, like Bernard said, it's a janitor's closet. I don't think anyone's gonna trap a janitor's closet.
Hey man, you never know. Snit would do it.
The tentacle with a knife.
Yeah.
After receiving that information, do we see anyone moving or talking to each other sort of suspiciously, or moving to a certain points
Not-
in the rooms or anything?
Not really. Zizix and the Green Man have kind of moved off a bit. They're talking to a rather large woman, probably 7.5 feet tall, in a very long, flowing white gown. A half mask sort of covering her face. The gown itself seems to be this pure white, like something that nobody would think to wear in a desert, because it, like as Zellark said, it would get dirty. But this
Excuse me.
it is pristine white. Like, it's almost like absorbing the color around her. And she has very like these long gloves that go up to about the middle of her forearm, and each one of her fingers has a ring on it, and they seem to be she's her age is indistinguishable, though judging from the shape of her ears, she's at least half elf. Her skin a very almost like plaster pale.
Do we want to move closer to see if we can listen in, or just keep our distance?
Well, how should we put this? How confident are you in your ability to small talk the crowd?
Just like hold a conversation with someone?
Or at least chime
Zellark.
in while I lead the conversation?
Zellark,
Yes.
I feel okay.
As you're talking to Nyrix, you remember you recognize this woman.
As in, she was one of the two.
She was the tall one in the tower after you had jumped back in. The one that had exited the portal through Gaius's cellar.
You see Zellark's eyes kind of go deadpan for a second, and it's like, I recognize that she looks familiar. It's like, she was in the tower. She was one of the two that came back before I left the tower after jumping back in.
The woman that's blindingly white.
She's not blindingly.
It's too bright.
I mean, and I look down at my coat.
That at least
That's
makes
just
sense.
a little gaudy. But anyway,
I would assume that's for Lindra. For someone to dress like that, I almost feel like she's matching her house.
yeah. Now, a question: have we ever seen Valindra yet?
There's only one person in this group that knows what she looks like, and that's Snit.
Got it. Do I see Gaius anywhere?
Gaius is on the dance floor,
Okay.
maybe about 20 feet away from Bernard and Callie, dancing with a rather beautiful looking elven woman, dressed in a soft green flowing gown. Not really much on her in terms of gaudiness. A single pendant around her neck, a red sapphire, not a red sapphire, but a red ruby embedded in the center of it. Seemingly just enthralled with being in Gaius's presence.
Is the pendant a spider pendant or?
It looks familiar to kind of what Reiju has.
Okay. Then I send. I'm going to use my message cantrip and send a message to Bernard, who's on the dance floor.
Right. And as you send that cantrip, you see those gold threads kind of like go out from underneath your feet and kind of spread out again.
What did we just say?
Just send a message to Callie to tell him.
Okay. Well, I've already done it, so at this point, I go through with it. And I say, Bernard, is Valindra the one dancing with Gaius at the moment? And also, who is the taller woman in white across the dance floor?
You get a response instantaneously. Yes, that's the she-devil. The tall woman, on the other hand, is surprised you don't know her. Very well-respected bard.
What'd he say?
Well, Gaius is currently dancing with Valindra.
What?
And the one over there is apparently a well-respected bard. Now, would that have, made any?
Give me a history roll. I don't know how cultured Zellark is.
You see how he dresses, sir.
Well, I've only been in the only a 7.
Only a 7?
Yeah.
You have no idea who that is.
Awesome.
So, well, we already put 2 and 2 together that they've worked together, especially if you've witnessed her in the room when you were by yourself, but now we know that she is not who we think it is. Also a threat, though.
At least we know. Now all we have to do is find a short, if there's a short member that comes up to the group. Potentially gnome, I believe, is what Bernard said. Then we have the other person who showed up. And I'm pretty sure they are a necromancer. So, as long as we keep an eye on the potential dangers, also complete lapse in judgment of using that spell, I think we should move along from this
And
location.
As you
Yeah.
say that, all of the lights in the ballroom go off. And then a single spotlight appears on a gentleman wearing what looks like a wolf's mask. Not wearing anything on the upper half, just showing like a very well defined body. A cape kind of like adorned around his shoulders, and like on like rings on his finger, like he's allowed to spread it, like to spread the cape out. Wearing a pair of black leather pants with matching boots. And then he begins to like slowly dance and weave between the crowd. And as he does, you catch the like the red feathers and stuff kind of like puffing up from his body, the same as Callie. As you know, this is Malik as he's beginning to dance around the group. And then descending down upon the rest of the dance floor, almost as if their feathers caught in the wind. More dancers begin to descend upon the dance floor. Everybody, all of them dressed the same way, but wearing various masks. But just very sensually dancing and weaving between everybody, and like all eyes are now locked on them. And then there's a blast of pyrotechnics near the staircase as that tall woman is now standing there. And she begins to sing a very soft and haunting melody that almost seems to enthrall everybody who hears it, as the dancers and everything begin to sway and move in motion with the song.
Wisdom save.
Is it about that time that our group is like, oh, perfect timing? It's just
Grab, go, gone.
lock back.
Also
with the
suggest be
pad.
mindful, do not use any more magic, because with the lights out, I think
Yes.
the lights will be more noticeable this time.
Yeah.
I agree. Allow me to refill your drink. I turn around, grab I'm guessing a whiskey, because
And as you turn around, you kind of stop as you hear like a very heavy breathing and then a snarl, maybe 2 feet in front of you on the wall.
And I back up and take Nerix, and we meld into the crowd.
What was happening? What?
Just-
Where are we going?
Just come.
And as you do that,
Okay.
the punch bowl gets knocked onto the ground as you can now see wet footprints kind of like walking towards you. Just another growl happening. And then as the song ends, the lights come back on and everybody is clapping and, you know, cheering for the dancers, and they've taken their masks off. They're all taking a bow. You notice gold thread kind of unfurl from the base of where the feet were, and the growling and the footsteps have stopped.
Do I know what that was?
Give me a history roll.
I was like, me just being a hunter.
Give me a history or arcana roll. You may know this.
Okay.
I also did do a brief description, like not the greatest description, but a brief description.
Quick question: is it anything that's fey, fiend, or undead?
No.
Okay. Gotta get advantage with it. Okay, so and then my increase is 2, so 23.
23. You know specifically that was a Mage Hunter. An abomination that originated down south in the wastes that feeds off of arcane talent of mages and anyone who employs said magic. Very dangerous. Poison to anyone who has even an ounce of arcane talent in them.
That's our whole group. Yeah, that's one of those creatures from before. They will consume magic and are very dangerous. I highly suggest not using any magics and use your, and she kind of like scans you up and down a little bit, like natural charms to talk your way out of stuff.
I was thinking it was time to rely on my older talents.
Yeah, unless we have to as an escape, I suggest we just use the rings.
But on that note, shall we move along?
Yeah, let's get away from that corner.
And with that, let's go ahead and take our second break so we can stretch and everything as we get ready to do the final hour of today's stream.
Part 3.
Part 3. But I don't think this is the last we're going to see of people mistakenly using magic. So stick with us, everyone. We will be right back. And we are back.
That's
And
interesting.
that was like the first thing I did. I just hit a parry, and I was like, all right, I'm just taking a longsword. I was like, I'm fucking sick. And then I tried to do it again and ate shit.
Yeah. Win some, you lose some.
So,
You lose most of them.
as the lights cut out and the dancing is going on downstairs, upstairs group, what are you doing?
Well, we're getting our shit, aren't we?
We're grabbing our bag.
shit.
All right, so you open
That
the
would
door.
be the door.
Yeah, you open the door, and again, it's a janitor's closet, and a very out of place bag can be seen tucked away in the corner.
I'll take that. And should we make our way to
Door.
the next one?
Turn around. Run away.
Start using using the time we have to.
As you run out around the corner.
Wasn't really running.
Well, you know what you mean. You know what I mean. You come back out onto the landing, and as the dancing is happening, you're noticing movement across the way. As
Hold everybody back.
in
And
various
really zero in on it.
various alcoves, you can see multiple hooded figures standing in the shadows.
What do my elf I see?
We gotta get those pendants. Keep going.
And then
Wait.
as the dancing begins to continue on and the song begins to take hold, you notice a lot of the like very slowly but one by one, various guests begin to leave.
Oh no. They're doing a call to arms. Okay.
Where my sword?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but does this seem like it's about time to fight? Time, or is this
It seems
merely
things are getting a bit
Dicey.
dicey, yeah. Like nobody's drawing first blood or anything like that, but you're noticing the robed figures on the second floor. You're noticing various guests leaving during the performance.
do the hooded figures look like they've noticed us?
If they
We're
have,
stealthing.
if they have, they haven't really paid attention to you, or they haven't
Alright.
really given away that they've seen you.
Because if you think they have, I demand a stealth roll. I want my passive trace to mean something.
Well, it's working for us.
That you know.
What I'm trying to say is,
Damn it, let me roll.
would I be able to send a message through the ring, alerting?
You can send it
round
through the
team?
ring, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
the ring
so-
isn't a problem.
Okay, so I will whisper into the ring the code word for, I believe it was,
Babushka.
no, it's
Babushka.
the
Trouble?
druidic word for trouble.
Yep.
And
Fuck.
Oddly enough,
It is now.
it is Fauk.
Ook.
and
Druids know what's up.
I mean, you
Uh,
could just at this point, since we have the ring, say, that
well,
what's going on.
I would just say first it's trouble, it's hooded figures gathering. Also guests leaving.
Look, we can't stop whatever this is. We need to continue on and just try not to be seen.
Yep. And we
As-
continue on.
As the talking is happening, you notice from your
I'm
little,
whispering.
from your little perch, both Gaius and Valindra leaving the chamber. But before he did, he walked over to Bernard and whispered something in his ear. And as he did, he sort of like pulled Callie a little bit closer.
Mm.
Aww.
Right? It's
Sorry.
You've got trouble, little bird.
Run from?
I think it's too late to run.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Hopefully your friends have got what they came for.
We're trying.
That way we can make a brisk exit.
Do we notice like a bunch of people just like leaving, or do they just like nonchalantly just
it's
exiting?
inconspicuous. It's like unless you were like on the top floor watching this happen, it just looks like people are coming and going.
Minako will make a mention of that.
And basically, we start going as quickly as we can to
Alright.
get the pendants.
And you make
Yeah.
your way as quickly
Run.
possible down to where the pendants are going, or where the pendants are at, and you come to the door. Snit, your monocle just makes this door blinding. Like there's a simple lock. Well, there's a lock on it, but it looks like if you mess this lock up, bad things will happen.
Lizard.
Does it look like your masters make?
No pressure.
Does it?
Give me a history check.
Also,
Retro
do
needs
you
to stop
share-
stop taking commissions from certain people. History is going to be a 21.
This is definitely a retro lock.
Do you
What
think you
tier
have...
does it look like?
Thankfully enough, it looks like tier 3, but you can tell just by a few of the intricacies that he purposefully fucked up on this lock. So while it's a tier 3, it's like your run-of-the-mill master lock.
So, hopeful question, crossing fingers, expecting to be denied. Does that give me advantage on it since it's my master's
I'll give you
lock?
advantage since you probably have fucked with enough of Ritro's locks in the past. You know his handiwork.
Okay.
I almost said lizard guidance, but stopped myself.
So
I
that's
was
okay,
like
because
that close.
If I remember correctly, you can't cast in animal form anyways. So,
That's true. That's
Not
true.
yet.
but I appreciate the thought and then the thought to not.
All you see is a little lizard looking at you and like touches your shoulder, goes, meh.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Guidance.
Okay. Need to scroll down. Sleight of hand. Okay, that's
No,
gonna be
it wouldn't be sleight of hand. It would be your tools. It'd be your tinkerer's tools with a dex check using it.
And
Which would-
proficiency.
Basically be the same as sleight of hand.
Okay, this is true.
Thieves' tools.
Thieves'
Yep.
tools
Okay.
or your tinkerer's tools, either or. 'Cause
So it's going to be a
can use-
26.
Oh, you easily pick this. And you like
Thank God.
as that lock is picked, you can hear the tumbler on the inside kind of like break off as the door kind of just hangs ajar now. This lock was very poorly done intentionally.
Okay, guys. You grab it
And-
and go into the ring.
As
Into the
you
ring network.
open the door.
Open the door.
Inside is a solitary case with 3 gems, or 3 gemstone pendants sitting in it. Nothing else is
Buckles up.
inside of here. To most people.
Do they look
Snit,
like the
there
right
we go.
ones?
I was trying to remember his name. Snit, your little handy dandy monocle
Uh-huh.
picks up about 27 Mageslayers in here. Sleeping.
No magic.
At all.
Our lizard gets really small.
Do I see anything else?
You notice that there's a small golden line drawn across the bottom of the door frame.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like just crossing the threshold, or like we'd have to step straight through it?
Again, you're the only one who can see this, and it looks like
Yeah,
once
I
you
know.
cross the threshold. Use Mage Hand. Yeah, that's gonna go well.
No.
Okay, I know these lizards can go through walls, so that's not very helpful. Let's see here.
Lasso.
Lasso.
Throw Syra and be like,
My time makes a suggestion. Just a
What's that?
simple grab and go.
Oh yeah, that might be the only choice. Into the ring. Everybody, the second I cross this door, something's gonna happen. I don't know what, but just be ready to GTFO.
wait, Syra makes a motion with her little lizard arms of flying to Snit.
Yeah, I know. I got wings.
She's just making sure you don't step.
You might want to stay here though.
Okay, whatever you decide to do, you do it quickly because this room is emptying fast.
We hear on the
Okay.
rings. But Syra will climb off of Snit and up onto Mineko's shoulder.
Okay.
And Snit gets basically into his sprinter's position as fast as he can and launches himself at that case to grab it, turn around, and get
Okay.
back out the
The
door.
case itself is pretty much a podium with like a glass case over it, and the 3 necklaces, housed on small little, neck busts.
Knock the glass over or break it, whatever I have to do, snatch and grab. This is going to be the dirty part.
As soon as
Snatch
we
and
got
grab.
the message through the rings, I take Nerix's arm in mine and it's like, shall we go see the garden again? And
And as
Take
you
her-
ask that, the lights go out again. And there's a very audible sound of the doors closing.
Seriously?
I have my hand stretched out, just
Rodent.
readying.
Yeah.
Nothing's in
Rodent.
it, just
As-
readying it.
As that happens, and Snit launches himself across the way, chanting begins to fill the room.
Cover your ears.
Sephiroth.
Give me a moment because
Scene change.
yes, a scene change.
I just realized I forgot to put Sirenscape up.
So did I.
It's the creepy music. As in no music.
It's like real life. There is
Did he
no
put
music.
a link? I don't know. Did we get a link?
I put a link.
Yeah.
I'll refresh Sirenscape so you guys can hear it.
Sephiroth.
Have fun.
It's stuck in my head now.
Okay.
Why it
for
have to
now.
be bunnies?
I don't have any sound though, but I'm here.
Because I refreshed it, so I have to
Oh,
restart the music.
Callie's all by herself. All by myself.
Nah, she's got Bernard.
He's gone too.
No, I just don't have a Bernard token.
Oh wow,
Actually-
I love this. How'd you do the map?
I bought it.
It's beautiful.
So pretty. Can I just take a chunk of the, like a rabbit, literal rabbit's foot?
It's
Just-
almost Easter. Break it off. It's chocolate.
Bitch is hoarding gold. Gold doesn't exist anymore. How dare she?
I'm gonna say we got to about here when the lights went off.
Yeah, where's Bernard?
I'm trying to find a token that would fit Bernard.
Any
Yes,
I-
the generic tiefling guy number 1.
I don't.
with a,
I
with a
don't.
top hat.
I'm sorry. I don't have any sexy tiefling guy.
Challenge accepted.
Stupid
Dude,
sexy Bernard.
yeah,
stupid
we're on
sexy
it.
guy. Stupid sexy Valindra.
I don't even think I
I
have
may
any.
have some already in my folder. I don't
I
know.
don't.
I know.
I don't even think I have any tiefling tokens.
Other than the tieflings in the room.
Who would have thought? You put in sexy tiefling and you get a lot.
Told you.
You probably get things you don't want. I'm sorry. I don't want any.
Or
ro-
Well,
you.
I mean,
I don't want
I
any
do.
Rule 34 token. Thank you.
Actually,
I'm seeing a lot I like.
Okay.
Not a
Here's
lot
an
that you can
idea.
put up
Here's
on
an idea.
stream.
Here's an idea. Give me find me a token that we can use for Bernard that won't
Cool.
get
I
us
just-
taken down.
I just put a picture in Withered Wastes.
Well, we need something that's probably officially licensed by D&D, right?
Yeah.
Not someone's artist.
That might work.
So, as they are searching for sexy tiefling pictures, chanting begins to fill the room. The lights begin to kind of flicker. Like every now and then you catch movement until the dance floor itself is completely devoid of anybody except Allie,
Even Bernard?
even Bernard. And then you feel like fingers on your shoulders, Callie, as Bernard whispers, "I'm still with you. Think of me as plan B."
Right.
As you know that he's at times hidden in your shadow before.
Creepy stalker he is.
Creepy stalker that he is. Snit, you reached the glass case.
Yeah.
Are you just smash and grab?
If I don't have to break the glass, I won't. But it's either if the glass case doesn't remove itself, then yeah, broken glass.
All right. You break the glass. And it shatters and falls into various pieces on the ground and snatch up the things. But as you do, everyone just begins to hear all these growls and groans as through your monocle you can see that the Mageslayers are beginning to stir from the noise. And then everybody begins to see them as they drop their cloaking. And these
Start out.
strange, twisted looking, flesh colored lizards. 6 arms going down to very broad, clawed hands. A tail that goes probably about a good 5 feet from the body and ends with a hook razor at the back of it. Its face kind of narrowed into a point, almost as if it were meant to be able to force its way down tunnels. 3 rows of human eyes on either side of the head.
That's disturbing.
Their mouth, as it hangs open, is full of these black, jagged teeth, multiple rows, almost like a shark. Its tongue hanging outside of its mouth, forking. tips of its tongue 2 fangs. And as Snit jumps and begins to fly back, they all, like almost in unison, jump at him.
Why were they triggered by the glass breaking?
They were triggered by the glass breaking because they were sleeping in the room.
So they attack other things for other reasons other than magic use. Then
He has 3 pendants on him at the moment.
ah,
Yo.
Snit,
Yes.
I need a dexterity check. Dexterity save, I should say.
Can I
Save
assist?
is better. Save
Can
is
I
better.
assist because I wish to.
I
back
don't
it
know
out.
how you could.
Not with this.
I'm in the middle of a room.
Mr.
You guys are all
Fantastic,
outside of
you
it.
can't stretch your arms.
Yeah, unless you're Mr. Fantastic, which I
I
wouldn't
sent you
allow
something,
because
Rojan.
which I wouldn't allow because Reed Richards is a tool.
Damn. Remind me never to go aberration in Pathfinder sorcery.
24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
You barely make it out as you feel one of the hands kind of like almost close around your tail as you fly out,
Nope, 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 nope.
and
Run!
they slam into like a barrier as that gold line stops them, as they start losing their mind, slamming at that thing, trying to get at you.
Okay, here she go.
I imagine one of us
yeah.
probably closes
Yeah,
the
Mina
door.
goes.
Right?
Mina goes on her rings like, we got it. Leave. And I guess we run into the room and out the window.
As you run into, like, are you leaving that way?
Through the children's room?
I assume that's the best course
Okay.
of action for us.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I'm asking the group. This is what Minako has in mind. I see.
I
see,
changed
yeah.
shape back to myself, by the way. I'm just gonna bounce back.
Yeah, okay. If you're gonna do that, I just grab the lizard and throw it forward.
Well, I leapt off your shoulder first, so you just see
Okay.
Syra going, "Yeah," and then poof.
And we head back out through the busted window.
Okay. So if all of,
Does the party, the other part of the party, say anything over the rings in response to we're leaving?
Yeah, the druidic word for get
Well,
the fuck out.
I already
Yeah, she wasn't
told
using
people
druidic, she was
saying
screaming leave.
before the chanting, before we switched over, because I didn't want to interrupt, I said that like if people are leaving, this is not good, please hurry up. And then there was chanting and rolled over to you guys. So as soon as I would have heard the chanting,
Oh, that's a good look.
yep.
again, I
There-
didn't
there-
want to
There's Bernard.
interrupt.
I approve.
Indeed.
I will definitely say the code word for trouble and escape.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed. Now.
Yeah,
And
Syra says,
as-
we have the penance, go.
Fauk.
As the
Me.
as the light comes back on, it'd be nice if you guys would show yourselves. Thank you.
No.
Oh, look, it's Zizix.
Good. I mean, shit. Oh, this chick.
Oh, I guess my shit didn't load up. Let me go look at stream.
Oh, evil bunny
strange-
eyes.
Archaic symbol begins to form on the dance floor underneath Callie.
No, no.
That soft piercing light, or that soft pulsing light that was underneath the dance floor the entire time, now revealing itself to be this large symbol. Smoke beginning to bellow from it as it leans back towards the only exit of the room. It's deep black fog covering the door. And then
Damn, that
from it,
looks
you
cool.
see a pair piercing red eyes looking at you.
Daddy?
As
Papa?
here.
I go into the ring and say, Callie, get out of there now.
Zizix standing there, smiling at those of you who are in the room.
Are there any other guests in there with them?
No. They all left. Save for the those that are up on the balcony way chanting. There's just those on the dance floor. As the rest of you GTFO'd out of the kids' room. Behind Zizix stands that bard, that strange half-masked woman. On the right of her is this hound comprised completely of bone. Purple flame emanating off of its body. Next to her is that strange wizard in the green robes, kind of hunched over a little bit more with a maniacal grin on his face. Zix begins to step down to the floor, walking a bit closer to Callie, but not too close. Only 3. Here I thought we'd catch the lot of you. Where are the rest of them? Did they not attend tonight's festivities?
We're around the
Gone
corner,
by
so
now.
Oh no,
we
they can
can't
see.
hear this, can we?
No,
Yeah,
no, you
we're
can.
just-
You can hear it. There's
Oh, we can. Okay, but
Yeah.
we can't see anything
No, you
from
can't,
where we are.
No, you can, because this right here
It's like a banister.
is a banister, because it's just like a protective thing so nobody falls into the dance floor.
Oh, I thought it was a wall at first.
No,
Okay,
no.
so we can see this.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Like in Dragon Age Inquisition, the ballroom, and
Oh yeah.
you know how you had to step down?
Yeah, I do.
You know
Okay.
how to speak Zorro.
I do.
He knows.
Quick, someone give her a shitty elf to romance.
Or punch.
You back off
Don't
my
go
booty
there.
boy. You
Don't
back off
go
my
there.
booty boy.
Don't go there.
Bald-headed fuck.
Oh, well, Colin's my number 1 for that one, but yeah, just you don't talk about my booty boy.
Mm-hmm.
No matter. I guess 3 of you would be enough of a sacrifice for now.
And I just say to him, you really think we would have given you the satisfaction to get all of us?
This'll
As
be
I
s-
make as I walk, hold on. I walk a little bit this way,
and
around.
as you do, the dog begins to move as well, and its eyes begin to light up as it catches
stop.
sight of you.
How far down is if I were to jump over this banister, like how far is the drop?
5 feet.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Just to make sure, when I looked at the map earlier, there was just the 3 in the case, and there was the one on that one lady, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Reju's, which I have in my hand. That's all that would be showing up. Okay. So we have them all.
And he kind of smirks and he looks back at the woman. What do you say, Val? Do we just throw him in now, or should we have some fun? Smiles and she looks over at the group. Well, since you so once again lack any sort of tact, Zix, and used my real name, I guess do away with them.
I will immediately cast sleep on these two back here.
Okay. And as you
I'm doing
cast
that.
sleep, that gold thread springs out from underneath you again.
I mean, at this point, I gotta do something.
They've got to have more HP than that.
I figured, but I rolled decently.
See, what you don't know is that the night before they couldn't sleep because they had suffered from insomnia, so he's gonna succeed.
Bad at math.
One at a time.
$31.
31.
Yep.
Yep, that's not going to do anything.
Ah, damn it.
Why is that not dragging anything?
Time, who's got the tactical nuke?
So does the
Give me a sec, I'm refreshing. Yeah, go ahead.
does the what was the entryway behind them look completely obscured at this point?
Yeah.
Do I get the sense that it would probably be a bad idea to try and rush through what once was the entryway?
So gives me that. Yeah, you can't really see the entryway, but knowing Callie's self-preservation, she knows that probably not a good idea to rush into a fog that has a pair of glowing red eyes.
Never 2 AP into darkness. That's what I learned from XCOM.
And the
I'm not
greasy
sure why
mage,
that's not working.
who
Yeah.
is slightly less greasy today. Does he look like he is concentrating on anything?
No, he just seems that worked. He just seems to be having he seems just to have a grin on his face.
Okay.
No, don't add things.
That's the lizardy thing.
Yep,
Oh.
it's the Mage Slayer.
Oh
Um,
no.
I will actually say into the ring, if you can, make it to the upstairs children's room. Exit the window.
So you have two choices here. Work with us, swear your allegiance, or become food. And as it says that, you see a very large skeletal dragon face kind of poking out of the clouds.
No, no.
I'm so happy I chose stealth team.
Nope.
'Cause there's no way she would have just stood still.
Nope.
She would have
Nope.
died. She'd be dead right now.
Once once that dragon face appears, I'm going to say quietly under my breath, are you with me, Bernard?
Till my last breath, little bird.
Wonderful. I'm going to extend my hand out in front of me, and one of the phoenix feathers on my arm is going to light up as flaming wings spread from my back.
And it's less spread from your back. They explode out the back, and it's just this torrent of white hot flame emanating from Callie, and it lights up the room behind her.
So pretty.
Callie Everdeen.
I think we'll be taking our leave now, if you don't mind. Gonna kind of side glance towards my companions.
Okay. With that, we're gonna need initiative.
I need to step away for just a moment, so continue.
I'm scaroused.
You're scaroused.
Aroused. I adore Callie's transformation like a lot.
It's more than I could have ever asked for.
It's amazing. I don't know if you could tell, but I love phoenixes, so it's so cool.
What was your first guess?
I don't know. So it was just initiative for the people on the dance floor right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't worry. I rolled really high.
Okay. Wait, I'm gonna.
Yo,
Yeah,
why
about
is the
that.
bard lady hot though?
Oh, you want to see her?
I'm seeing the token. Yeah, you know, dead eye aside.
Dead eye aside.
And here I thought you just watched the Resident Evil
Oh, no.
trailer too many
No.
times.
Lady Dimage is
See, unlike the rest of the world, I am not infatuated with the tall vampire lady.
Roshan doesn't get it because he's tall.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you're tall, cool. So as Callie's wings burst out the back, the lady in the back kind of smiles, shakes her head. Zizix, dear, let's let them try to escape. We have more pressing matters at hand. That cat has whisked away with my daughter and my necklace. We need that back.
Oh.
Let's deal with that, shall we? Let's leave them to their fate. Zizix kind of grunts and shakes his head. Fine. I guess that works. Really wanted that one's face for my mask collection. He kind of nods over to Bellark.
Aw.
Whoa, what about me, bro?
After he says that, I turned to Nerix and was like, at least he has good taste.
The four of
Just
them
raises an eyebrow.
sort of pull away as the green man once again casts a teleportation spell out. The little gold threads kind of whisking out as he does so.
God, I hate that guy. Reminds me of the
And-
greasy dude. I forgot his name from Lord of the Rings. Ugh.
That's who I based him
Oh.
off of.
Yeah.
Grimworm.
Yeah,
Grimworm.
Thank you. I was like, I could not for the life of me
as-
remember his name.
Yeah, Grimmer Wormtail.
Yeah.
As they pull away, that skeletal dragon begins to slowly crawl out. And as it does, strange flesh begins to form over its face and then down its neck and down the rest of its body until it's completely out. And you swear you're staring at like some sort of star constellation in a draconic form.
Is this a celestial dragon?
2TF.
Well,
Oh, he looks like a
Let's
tome
go.
of beast, buddy.
Let's go
He is
real
a-
quick, guys.
He is a Toma beast, buddy.
he's cute.
1 or 2?
2, I
No.
think.
I
Oh,
just want
boy.
to. I want to boop the snoot.
Hold on, let me get my reference. Just kidding. I'm doing
I want to boop the snoot.
that. I hug the red dragon's toe. It looks down at you. Okay.
So we're going through initiative, right?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was finding the battle music. It doesn't. This one. I need his initiative roll because he actually has one.
His pattern reminds me of a void dragon, and I am not so happy about now.
Not a void dragon.
Oh, astral dragon? Pretty sky dragon.
It's
The Alaskan Night Sky Dragon.
pretty much. It's a
I say it's very pretty.
The
no,
Aurora dragon.
it's a liminal drake. It's you know it's kind of like the joke. We have a void dragon at home. Well, that's the void dragon at home.
Okay.
Hey, like the new Captain America.
But Callie, with your bajillion dexterity.
Yes, with my bajillion dexterity. So we were told there's an escape on the second floor in the child's bedroom, which I'm sure, since we all memorized the map, I assume we know where the other team's entry point was.
Minago did
Well-
drill everybody on the floor plans.
I would say Nyrix like wanted that thing completely memorized, but also at the
Yeah.
beginning, Bernard also said like where the window was and stuff. So we have a
Okay.
good idea.
So we know where our exit point is. Good. Now, I really hope that all of this works, but we'll see. So I am going to use a key point to Step of the Wind, so I can dash as a bonus action,
Okay.
which will give me a flight speed of 150 feet.
All right. Before
Okay,
you do,
bye.
before you do that, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save.
Unless you want to avert your eyes away from the dragon.
Oh yeah.
I will be looking at the dragon at some point in this turn, so I
Okay.
might as well roll it now.
Yep.
Good. That's 21.
All right, you're fine.
All right.
As like you look at it in it, the way that it looks and the way it's like sort of like distorting itself as it's standing there, you get like a very nauseated feel. But you're able to shake it off.
Okay. So I'm going to use my first 75 feet of movement to go up here. I'm going to punch this thing.
Oh, that's not there. Never mind. You don't have to worry about that.
I'm not doing that.
I forgot to take him off.
Gonna say I was like I'll punch him in the face.
Okay. So I'm going to instead use my first
I had to modify the fight a bit because not everyone is here.
55
Bless you,
feet
sir.
of movement to go up to this thing. And I'm
Okay.
going to punch it.
Okay.
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
A dirty 20. One moment here. That'll hit.
Okay. So that is gonna do 10 bludgeoning damage, but the important part of that is that I'm going to stunning strike. So it needs to make a con save.
What is this? What is this condition for this stunning strike? If they fail,
stun. Just straight up be stunned.
Okay, I just want to make sure it didn't have any sort of resistance or anything. Constitution, you said?
Yep.
That is going to be a 24.
Oh yes, that'll save. Okay, attack number 2 is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
That will be another 10 bludgeoning. And I'm going to spend another key point to attempt stunning strike one more time.
That is a 21.
That will also save. Okay. So I have 95 feet of movement left. So I'm going to shout out to my companions, I can't stun it. We need to go. And then I'm going to go all the way. The map is too small. I need to zoom out. All the way down here with the rest of my movement.
Okay.
That is all I can do.
Did Bernard just go with the shadow and just
Yeah.
go?
Bernard is with her.
That's why I asked if he was with me before I spread the wings, because I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't want to fly out of there and leave him behind.
like he said, he's Plan B.
What a jerk.
Nyrix.
Oh, fuck. So I'm assuming, I actually have been trying to figure out this whole time. I'm like, so this bottom part's the direction we need to go, right? I was trying to figure out what's the proper door.
That staircase down. That staircase is what you have to run up to get to the second floor.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. So I was like, okay, cool. Because for some weird reason I thought it was like over here on the other side, and I was like,
No,
God,
that's just the
Okay.
opposite side of the ballroom.
got it. Okay. Turn back and look at Zelark and go, don't even bother, haul ass now. And I'm going to, oh goodness. Oh God, I forgot how to count. I can go that far if I dash.
Okay.
My hand's still extended, ready to get a weapon in case I need it. And I will, just kind of as a free action, I'm just gonna, because everyone's gone now, so fuck it, I'm just gonna completely talk into the ring and go, run now. Go.
I mean, I would imagine Minako would have instructed to head towards
Yeah.
the thing. We would have been already on the way.
But the urgency in my voice is
Yeah.
just like, just haul ass, just go. So
I guess that
yeah.
the outside group will just pick up the pace then at that point.
Yep. It's like,
Yep,
Oh,
and
dear.
that is all I can do.
Okay. Big boy here.
I do want to say Syra would respond with like, "You okay?" after hearing her the panic in her voice a bit.
Just run, keep going.
Jumps down to here onto the floor, where near Callie. We're so
Oh, yeah, I
lucky
think
we're
we
not
should
in that.
fly. Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh God.
And it looks up and it inhales and then lets out its breath weapon towards Callie
No.
as these what looks to be like a borealis jut from out from its mouth, but you could see flames licking off of it as it overtakes Callie. Going to need a dex save from you.
monks are good at
Kudos.
that.
Yeah, I can. Oh, no,
Come
I'm gonna roll
on,
4
come
on the
on.
die. 12.
Oh, you're gonna fail.
Oh, balls.
You are going to take 25 fire damage and 23 radiant damage.
Oh, I'm down.
Dude, that would have left me with like 4 points. 2 health points.
Book it. Grab and go.
Yep, and as Callie begins to fall, you see
Her wings are gone.
these arms, kind of like the arms, just wrap around her and then pull her into a shadow, and she's gone.
Well, at
You're
least they have their,
super concerned, but like it's like, okay, I don't know what just happened, but I'm pretty sure he took her somewhere. But okay.
Boyfriend
Really?
Bernard.
at least she had a health potion in Bernard.
Yeah.
Zeller.
Drink come
Okay.
up.
So I am. I did say I hid some contraband in my thing, so would I have a couple darts on me? Or
Yeah.
no, would you?
You would have
count
you would have a couple darts on you, but
no poison or anything like
yeah,
that.
you seeing as how Callie punched it and really didn't show much of anything when she did, you kind of have the feeling that this is not a fight you want to pick.
Zetlar casts message to the dragon.
Is this a window like it is in the picture?
That's a wall,
Not a window.
not a window. That's a wall.
Okay, I thought it was a window. Never mind.
Nope.
So, let's see. I will move 30 feet. And can I do double movement?
Yeah, it's called a dash. It's double
Okay,
movement.
so I'll do a dash and then I will bonus action, or can I, or I'm confused with this. Can I move more?
You can triple move
Wait.
because you're rogue levels.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah,
you're,
expeditious retreat.
cutting
Is what
action.
it is. You know, cutting action. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to move 90 feet to here. And that's my turn.
All right. Nerix.
Give her a second.
Yep, sorry,
Okay.
I was coughing. Yeah, I'm still hauling ass. So, while every once in a while looking over my shoulder, just keeping an eye on this guy. Oh god. Okay, I can make it there
Okay.
with my double action. All right, I see the door in my sights, sort of.
And the dragon jumps up and like perches itself onto the banister. Oh, you can go away. You're not here.
Whoa, rude.
The rest of the team is wiped out.
Maha, mahe, maha, mahe. Just dives out window.
Now, question right here, is that just the carpet? Like,
No. That is a wall.
oh, so that is a wall. And then, okay.
And that's all it's gonna do is it sits there and it kind of just like almost playing with its food as it's like moving its head around, just daring Nerix to get closer.
No, Nerix very well.
Zellark.
I'm going to shit. I'm just gonna move up to I'm gonna move here, and that's my turn.
Nyrix.
Do I know? Oh no, I don't think I want to. No, I don't want to waste it. Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead because I will not have enough movement to make it completely out. No, fuck it. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna do it. I can make it. So if I go over here, I'm gonna take this corner sharp.
All right. So before you do that, I need you to give me
Yep.
a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I need dice. That's a thing. There you go.
Well,
Con?
don't move yourself yet.
Yeah, I stopped at that corner. Oh,
No, I said
Okay.
don't move yourself yet.
got it. Okay. Whoa, thank God. Okay. That is a 19.
Okay, you're fine. So now you can move yourself.
Okay, thank God. Oh, I took a chance. So I can make it as far as here. That's my full 60 feet of movement.
Okay.
So I'm almost out.
I think if you... Okay, so you have a normal 60 feet, or are you dashing?
No, I'm dashing.
Okay.
That's literally 60 feet right there, right at that cusp. So it's as far as I can make it, unless I'm allowed to like jump out or something. But that's as far as I can go.
Nope, you're fine. Zelark? Oh, wait, no, sorry, it's the dragon.
Yep.
Gonna kind of jump down and kind of still balancing awkwardly on the podium itself and putting itself between you and Nyrix. And then it sits there for a moment and it gets ready to take a breath. And then you see a look of realization on its face. And it says something in Draconic, and then you see itself fold in on its body as it pulls itself into nothing and vanishes.
Okay.
And then you hear the dragon's roar outside as it begins to crash through buildings. Second floor team. You've made it close to the guild where the hole is. And then you hear buildings and buildings begin to explode in a dragon's roar as you see this large winged star monstrosity flying in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Go, 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 go.
It knows.
Don't look, don't look, don't look.
Bernard appearing beside you a moment later, holding Callie in his arms. Callie's dress now singed and burned and like disintegrated in places, like various burns on her body as she looks like she just tried to 1v1 a fireplace.
Oh God.
Cure wounds on Callian.
Followed by another cure wounds.
I
From
think
me.
everybody's just touching her, just like you.
Keep
Cure,
moving,
cure.
keep
So,
moving.
I will also do a cure wounds.
You will get 11 points back. Oh, excuse me. 10 points back, sorry.
11 from me.
And that's my cure wounds.
Back up to half already.
And Callie, you come to HP restored, but you are sore.
Wait for me, Kelly.
I'm taking out healing salve next, and I'm just slapping it on her.
Yeah, we have the items, so
Okay,
How am I
we need to
not
go.
held?
Yeah.
He pretty much has you cradled in his arms.
Okay.
Tunnel.
As we're
If you
running,
guys
I'm
keep
slapping
talking-
solve.
As
Yeah.
soon as Callie opens her eyes and sees that Bernard got her out of there, she's going to reach up and grab his cheeks and give him a kiss. And then
Yay.
like bury her
No
face in
time,
his
let's
chest
go.
as they run.
Yep, and he returns the kiss, and he holds onto you tight as he like lowers himself. He's like, let's make it bumpy. And he begins to run, and as he begins to run, everyone sees like a shadow version of himself trailing as he begins to like almost dance between the light and heading towards the meeting destination.
Before that happens, while Callie was kissing him, Sarah was like smiling and super happy and looking at them, but also like lathering her arms in healing salve. So take 10 more points healing as I put 2 on you.
Much
I'm like,
appreciated.
oh.
Sarah's like, don't mind me.
So to explain it better, what's happening as he finishes movement, other Bernard switches with him and does movement, and they keep switching back and forth to extend their movements.
He's
I
doing
will
what can
actually
do.
help out, and if they ever actually run into a problem like they're about to hit a wall or something.
They left you guys behind.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck!
all right.
All right.
Yeah, Minako's gonna
Um,
start echo jumping.
Yeah. So Snit's gonna look at Reiju. Reiju, bam! And he's going to extend his wings and start flying behind Reiju to reach into the bag and grab his excuse me, his crossbow and one of his like a couple snit sticks.
I should hope you know what you're doing. And key point after he grabs his stuff, just 120 feet.
Damn, everyone's so fast.
Hey, wait! I was gonna do
Wait.
something.
Wait, what are you doing?
Um,
What are you doing, Snit?
I'd like to toss her like the end of a rope.
You're not serious.
Yeah.
Are you gonna kite
Okay. Syra,
Hmm?
have you ever heard of a cheetah?
Have I heard of a cheetah?
You haven't heard of a cheetah, but you've heard about panther. You've seen panthers before.
Are panthers faster than lions? Let me look.
That's a good question, actually.
That's true.
They are better at jumping between trees, so we're in a city still.
I mean, you've
What amount?
probably seen any number of mounts as well, like horses and
Yeah.
stuff. They have faster
I could
movement.
turn into a horse. Does anyone need to
No.
ride?
Yeah, yep.
Yep, Mina.
Mina does.
Okay. Now our horse is faster than lions because I'm still on Team Lion for a second.
Horses have
Hey,
a
there
movement
you
speed
go.
of 60.
Riding horses have a movement of 60. Yeah.
60? Oh, okay, that's more than a lion. All right, I'll
Yeah.
turn into a riding horse
Okay.
and neigh and nudge Mina. As she's running, I'll just kind of like nudge my nose underneath to scoop her up.
I mean, I would assume seeing her run, she'd place an echo and swap on.
Okay,
Yeah, that would work.
that works.
So everyone begins to take off.
So
Um,
here's Nyrix and Zelark just like inside the house, still like, we're coming, guys. Wait for us.
It's the John
We're
Travolta.
coming on the other side of the
Where'd everybody
city.
go?
Yeah, pretty much.
On the other side of the city.
Other side of the city, yeah. Well, not really other side of the city, but other side of the district.
Yeah,
But
basically.
as everyone begins to go off, the dragon crashes into another building, and almost like in a rage, you see it like rip the roof open and just breathe its breath weapon down inside of whoever's inside there. As it
Oh my
begins
gosh.
before it takes off again, following the group, having no consideration for what's around it as it's crashing through buildings left and right. It's grabbing people off the ground and just throwing them into the air. Just calamity all around.
Nothing we could do about it.
No.
So.
Suck it, Jared.
Zelark and Nyrix, you're able to find your way out. And
Question
it's-
before I find my way out.
Yeah.
Is there anything visibly valuable?
She
Not-
Oh my god.
No.
That was not the time.
Now is not the time.
Not the time or the place, Zelark.
I
Eric
just
just
want
like grabs
one.
him and yanks him.
Just,
If
just
there's
one.
no while we're here.
I just want one spoon! One silver spoon!
I want like one silver
Stop
candlestick
it,
or
you klepto,
something.
let's go.
Just grab that plant off the banister as you go by and call it a victory.
I think his ADHD is worse than mine.
Little does he know, it's like a fake. It's like a fake plastic fern.
Little did I know it's a mimic.
It's a mimic. So, you follow the trail of destruction. And by the time like you reach the tunnel, the rest of the group has already got there, but everyone is hiding out like down in the center, making sure it's safe to move forward. But as you're moving through the district, there you can see that there are bodies just splayed all over the ground. Buildings have been destroyed. The stones themselves on fire. The closer you get to the hidden area, the hidden tunnel behind the guild hall, the destruction just continues. And you can see the dragon now far, like off into other districts of the city, just raining chaos down indiscriminately, as if it knows it's looking for something, but it can't seem to find anyone.
Are we all collectively getting in that tunnel?
All of you get into that tunnel, but Zelark and Nyrix are making their way through there. And as
Taking away.
you finally reach the Merchants Guild, and it's destroyed. The building itself, the dome ceiling that once distinguished it from everything else, collapsed in on itself. Random spouts of fire steaming out some of the windows. Just chaos all around you. But you do make it into the hole, into the tunnel.
I would say, like, upon seeing that destruction, Tyra would exclaim something along the lines of, like, I can't believe they would do this to their own city.
Their own mind wipe city.
And as you say that, an unfamiliar voice calls out from behind you. There was never any concern for the city. He's just wanted power. And Gaius
Loaded
walks
crossbow
out.
bolt.
Gaius walks out with who Snit knows as Valindra. As they round the corner, Gaius looking a bit singed. Part of like the coat on his right arm kind of torn away in claw marks. Good, you made it, all of you.
He's with Valindra?
He's with who Snit knows as Valindra.
Who's that?
Mina
Are you okay?
stretches her hand out for her sword. Reiju?
A moment.
Gaius, who is this? Are you okay?
Gaius?
Wait,
What?
were we there?
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
have come in at this point in time.
There's
Everyone,
just a crossbow leveled at her.
and he kind of
and
steps in front of
snarling
it.
from Snit.
Snit, put it down. It's not who you think it is.
Who
Then explain
is
fast.
it?
Yeah, Minako's gonna crouch over in like her like quick like slash draw position.
I'll
Zella,
ease
use
up on the
prestidigitation.
crossbow,
Everyone
but
gets-
it's still. I'll ease up on the crossbow, but it's still up.
Everyone, this is Natalia. She's Valindra's daughter.
Thought that was for Lindra.
Well, as far as the city is concerned, yes. She is, or was, the face and voice for her mother for a rather long parts of time for the past 50 years.
Does she have what color eyes?
They're gold.
It was your bedroom we were in, wasn't it? The kids'
Oh.
room?
She kind of like looks over at Bernard, kind of like glaring at him. It's like, they need it in. What am I supposed to do? Yes, that was my room. I'm sorry for the deception.
Oh, and I'm not a horse anymore, by the way. It's not a horse. I would have dropped the horse.
And she looks over to Snit, and she like walks over to him and kneels down. And I'm sorry for the hurtful things I have always said to you and treated you. It was to keep up the guys. I could not let my mother know that I knew what she was up to. Had to play my role.
He's just gonna look up at her. Whose order?
For the tunnels. That was hers. That was not me. Those orders came well before this.
Guys, do you have the pendant?
And she Natalia reaches up and she's like, I still have it.
I'm sorry, but
Okay.
we need that.
And you will have it. We are coming with you.
What?
Not stay here now.
Great, let's go. And she, like, Reiju is just heading towards the
And
skiff.
Gaius kind of holds up his hands like, we need to wait. We can't let that thing see us.
Okay.
Ah,
Where should we wait?
Here.
Here.
Okay.
Most
Go
people,
wait closer to the exit, not directly underneath the city.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes,
considering.
yes, deeper in would definitely be a better idea than just here.
Let's go deeper in then.
Zellark uses prestidigitation on his white coat to keep it white.
Like
And
all
walks-
of like the dust and the dirt and the singes just go away.
Anybody that needs it, prestidigitation.
And
prestidigitation.
then I walk across. I'm like, well, let's get going.
So before anybody moves, Snit's gonna take the drawing out of his pouch, throw it on the ground, and like kick dirt on it, and then move into the tunnel further, and just meld into shadows.
Okay.
Bernard, did you put our armor in the bag as well?
Yes, yeah, no, all of your gear is in there. I made sure
Yes.
to that all of whatever you would need would be there.
It opens up the bag as soon as we get to the
The end point.
a
Yeah,
clear.
I guess Minako doesn't care. She'll change in front of everybody at this point.
Yeah. And
She'll get
unless
back in her jacket,
unless
boots
she
and
tells him otherwise, he doesn't put Callie down.
She says nothing, just keeps her face buried in his chest the whole time.
How down are you right now? Are you full up yet?
She's good on HP. She's just
Okay.
traumatized.
Yeah.
And burned.
Sarah will look over Zellark and Nirix. You two okay? I saw what happened to Cal. It's bad. You're
So-
muted.
Zellark was looking death in the face for a moment.
Yeah. I'm so glad you took pity on me, Rojan.
Oh, it wasn't pity. I
You
was
two look fine, right?
I
You
was
don't have
rolling
any
to see
damage?
when the dragon would get the message. It was either the dragon
Ah.
was going to get the message or you were about to get a breath weapon to the face.
Mm.
The dice had mercy.
But they look fine, right? Because I can't remember if they took
No,
any damage or not.
They look
Nothing.
aside
Okay.
from being dirty. Well, Nyric's being dirty, they're fine.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay.
As I said, prestidigitation, prestidigitation, prestidigitation.
Okay.
Well, Natalia, it's a pleasure to meet you, I guess.
I wish this were under better circumstances.
Do you know exactly what's going on? As far as why we were doing
I
things?
know way too much as to what is going on. I would be happy to fill you all in once we are away from
Yeah, because I want to
So
know
you're-
what these bigger plans are that your mother spoke about earlier.
Now, that could be a variety of things.
Are
Lord
you
knows-
working against your mother?
Well, she kind of like looks around. Definitely not working for her.
Insight check.
Sure.
For what it's worth, thank you.
I didn't do anything.
I disagree.
I was merely playing my parts when Gaius took notice of movement and got me out of there.
21.
She seems truthful. She seems sincere.
Syra relaxes a little bit.
Gaius looks out, his ears kind of straining. We should be good to move.
Just
Though, I suggest we all get on the cart, or get on the skiff for now.
right.
Less noise, the better.
I will recast Pass Without a Trace as we make our way out.
And I don't have. Well, if anyone wants it, if they got empty water skins, I can create water.
Let's hold off on the magic until we get out of here. Who knows if she's let those things out?
Uh-oh. I cast a thing.
Best for us to move then.
It's to make us more sneaky, but whoops.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess
best for us to move then.
Phew.
Once she gets on the skiff, she'll like whistle at her mount to follow.
Okay. And as you all begin to, as the skiff begins to take off into,
What happened to the motorcycle?
the motorcycle's on the back of the skiff at the moment.
Oh, okay.
As the skiff begins to move, like you begin to leave the remnants of the town or of the city that you've been in for so long, some of you even calling it home. You begin to feel the cool night air of the desert whisk over you as you put distance between you and Valindra and her cults and that dragon. And that is where we are going to end for this week.
I was about to poop myself.
Azure was just yelling at us in chat like,
Yay.
"Get the fuck out
We lived.
of there!"
I mean, if anything, at least if the breath
Yeah.
weapon
I'm
came up,
actually
like, all
happy.
right, chance
I'm
of the
actually
fire.
happy you guys decided to peace out with that dragon because you weren't supposed to fight it. That is a challenge. That is a challenge rating 14 dragon. It
Yeah,
would
we're
have eaten
level
you.
5. There's no way.
Like,
Even
when
if
it-
all of us were there.
when
no.
it-
Good
What-
thing Mina wasn't there.
When it one shot Callie, it's like that's
Yeah.
what happens.
So, mission successful.
Mission successful. Also, you're level 6.
All XCOM, all XCOM operatives have been exfiltrated.
Yeah,
People have been promoted.
everyone's been
Level up.
promoted.
All right,
So excited.
third level sorcerer. Let's go.
Shit, do I take a second level in?
I know what I'm doing.
But yeah. So that is going to do it for us tonight, everyone, or today, tonight. It's not
Brilliant.
even nighttime.
Yeah.
Do I get what I want?
You
if
get
I
what?
take Wizard? Do I take what I've been asking for this whole time?
Judgment cut?
Yes, at level
No,
3.
not at level 3.
Okay.
Not at level 3. Judgment cut is not a level 3 spell.
Damn.
Well, remember, because we talked about doing a very small cantrip version.
I have plans for Judgment Cut. Don't worry, it's not going to be a spell. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so we are going to wrap up for tonight.
Inigo, please.
This is not the only show that we do. Tomorrow we are going to have another episode of No Way Out. We've done messed up in that game.
Yeah, you have.
We've pissed off a lot of people. So I'm interested to see exactly. Oh, not tomorrow. I mean Monday. I thought today was Sunday. On Monday we will have No Way Out. On Tuesday will be the return of our level 15 campaign of Destiny Forged, where lore bombs and trauma are going to be revealed. And then on next Saturday will be another episode of Wayward Wanderers with a couple new cast members and more bars to burn, because apparently that's what they do when you run a circus, is you light bars on fire.
What?
But what? But yeah, we're gonna wrap up for tonight. If you guys missed any of this episode or are just joining us for the first time, we have a YouTube channel where all of our previous episodes are stored. And yeah, so we will catch you all on Monday for more D&D shenanigans. But until then, thanks for watching. See you later.